let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Sacred Liquid Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
Hello!
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Coolbet Red Hot Nielsen Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and log you with some sirloin bites.
Six hours and 57 minutes until the trade deadline. Lieutenant Eric, are you ready? Is your insider hat on? Nobody's breaking news like this guy in the city.
We don't sleep, and nor should we. As mentioned earlier today, are you all in or all out? It's one of the two. There's no middle ground here, right? You're either playing for a cup or you're playing around and fooling around. So what are we doing here? We got to get going. This is it. This is a hard deadline this afternoon, 1 o'clock. And this is the place you want to be.
How about this for the first message to get us going today? Sam on YouTube. Hey, boys, listening from Blue Mountains, Australia. Just sat through an earthquake. Is this a sign of what's to come for the Oilers?
What does it all mean?
Wow, I didn't even know they had mountains in Australia. I got to look into that a little bit more.
Put it on the map.
I'm writing it down right now. We're going to throw that on the map when Zacta comes in a little bit later on today, hey? Holy smokes.
Sounds like a Coors Light can, hey?
That's that's wild. Blue Mountains, Australia. Well, thank you very much for listening. Hey, sub to the channel if you haven't already. We're over 7,200 subs now. So that's good. The push towards 8,000 continues. Starting on Monday, right here and only here on Edmonton Sports Talk, you have a chance 4 times a day to qualify for a trip to Vegas. We're going to send you to Vegas, teaming up with Fly YEG on all the nonstop flights that they have out of our airport. This is going to be a good one. We are going to send you down to Vegas. Flights for 2, nonstop, 3 nights accommodations, tickets to a Cirque show. And then outside of that, you can do whatever the hell you want. Doesn't matter to us. All right? This is going to be a lot of fun. Very much looking forward to this. And qualifying begins on Monday. Tell your friends. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not yet sure how you can just listen to the show as well, very easy. You can listen on the TuneIn app. You can listen with our new partners over at iHeartRadio. We have an Edmonton Sports Talk channel over there. Or, of course, you can just listen to the show on edmontonsportstalk.com.
Smells great in here, I must say, by the way.
Well, I did make a promise, did I not, to the boys?
And Nielsen always keeps
Nielsen always
promises.
delivers on his promises, and that's it. And it is trade deadline day. And, of course, you can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. And in that Paris Jewelers inbox, you could win text of the day for A&W. And that's what we're talking about here today. Boys, I said we were going to do it. We've got trade deadline breakfasts for the boys. Are you kidding me? This is what I'm talking about, and I'm not messing around here. I got the classic. We got the sausage, we got the eggs, we got the bacon, and we got the toast. Come here, Trev.
No tomatoes either.
Tell me this isn't a good place to work, Trev. Tell me this isn't a good place to work. No tomatoes. I requested no tomato.
And they.
And I brought a fourth one because remember Zacticum was like, I'd come in for breakfast, so I was like, man, if he does, I better be careful.
Say cheese.
Boys, we got jams and peanut butters. Jams and peanut butters.
Any marmalade in there?
We got these little forks and knives,
I don't need that.
and we are in. No ketchup, but that's okay. That's okay.
Delicious.
Look at this.
Look at that.
What type of fast food joints dropping breakfasts like this on you? I love it. This is what we're talking about today. This is deadline day in Canada. A&W breakfast. Man. One day they might even do this on overdrive.
I'll get you going.
Look at this. Look at that. Look at this.
Fuel to play.
That
Fuel
is
to
terrific.
deal. Yeah.
That is terrific. We got the iPad going over here. Trying to keep tabs on everything going on. I initially brought it in because I just wanted to watch F1 qualifying. But F1 qualifying doesn't start till like after the show, so I guess I'll watch Trade Center. But I got the best insider in the biz sitting right over here anyway.
Hey.
So what's the latest buzz?
Well, it's heating up. It's I'll give you this, Dustin, if you want. I don't know. I was going to maybe save it as a little treat.
There's a
little
hash
bit.
brown in here. It was
they've
hidden under my toes.
They hit a little hash brown. Hey, look
Unbelievable.
at that. Oh,
Trev, you got a hash
A&W.
brown hidden under your toes, you sneaky A&Ws.
We do have the updated trade bait board, courtesy TSN.
Okay, give it to me.
It goes
Let's do
It goes all the way down to 35. If you'd like me to read from 35
Hey,
upward.
Eric, it's deadline day. Let's go through all 35.
Okay. Do you want me to start at the bottom and work my way up, or
Okay.
maybe? Okay.
Yes, I do.
35. Mike Hoffman. Remember that name? Hey.
Wow.
That was disgusting. Yeah, I mean, like kind of yesteryear here.
That was a few years ago. That was when it was. We were also talking about Josh Anderson.
No, right wing. Joel Armia, 34. Thomas Tatar, 33.
Okay.
Arthur Kaliev, 32. Linus Ullmark, 31. We're getting into the 30s now. Evgeny Kuznetsov at 30. Frankie Vetrano, 29.
Frankie Vetrano's at 29 now.
What a fall.
Well, can I explain to you why that is?
Hey, please.
They can't retain anymore.
That's so.
There's no retention allowed in Anaheim anymore. It's
we go.
fallen down the list.
Jack Roslovic, 28. David Savard, 27. Jake Allen, 26. Dom Kubalik.
Kubalik, yeah.
25. Andrew Peak, 24. Alexander Carrier,
Hello?
23.
23.
Tyler Johnson, 22. And Capo Kakinen at 21. Into the top 20. Tyson Barrie at 20. Eric Johnson, Buffalo. Right D.
It's a name that's a name that people have been kind of calling for here, but
He's in
we'll get to
19.
the Stetcher trade obviously coming up.
Alex Nedeljkovic, 18. Michael Granlund, 17. Pat Maroon, 16. Chad Ruedel, 15. Eric Brandstrom, 14. Kyle Okposo, 13. Jacob Markstrom at 12. Elias Lindholm at 11. Getting into your top 10.
Elias Lindholm.
At 11.
He's already been traded, and he's still number 11 on the list. I love it.
Number 10, Vegas, 2024 first. Number 9, Lars Eller.
Lars Eller, interesting.
Number 8, Jacob Chychrun. Number 7, Riley Smith. Number 6, Jake DeBrusk.
DeBrusk in the top 10.
Number 5, Max Pacioretty. Number 4, Nick Dowd. Number 3, Jason Zucker. Number 2, Matt Dumba. And number 1 on the trade bait board as of 5:01 Mountain this morning, Tyler Toffoli.
Tyler Toffoli. He's got to go, I would think.
Gotta go.
I'll just say this. That trade bait board sucks.
It's something.
Like, so many names have already been traded that there's really not a lot left to...
But from an Oilers POV, right? Yeah? No?
Hey, where was Jordan Eberle on that list?
Did I read him?
Did you not mention...
I don't think I...
Why is Jordan Eberle's name not on that list? That seems kind of strange. Did he sign like at 10 p.m. last night when I was in bed?
Well, look, I'll get to the bottom of this. Don't leave it to me.
It kind of surprised me a little bit that Jordan Eberle wouldn't be on that list.
Well, is Matthias Ekholm on the list?
Oh, speaking of Matthias Ekholm like things, we got a big one today for you. This is a good one. All of our insiders are on TV right now. So I was like, well, who are we going to get? Who are we going to have to join us on the show today to talk about what the Oilers have already done, right? This is not a... Now, it could still be very much an Oilers, what are they going to do show? Because they still have some cap space. They still have a first rounder next year. They still have a second rounder. The Oilers could still do something. Everybody seems to think that they're done. They probably are done, but they still could do something.
I think it's about an 80-20 divide, according to one Bob Stauffer yesterday.
Is it 80% done? 20% still a
20%.
chance. I like that
20%.
20% still a chance.
I'll take it.
I appreciate that.
Better than 10.
So there's still something that could happen, but they could have possibly already done everything that they're going to do. We saw Henrique. We saw Carrick last night. They acquired Stetcher yesterday. Is that it? Is that the deadline for the Edmonton Oilers? What say you? If it is, what do you think? I know many of you are calling for much more to be done, but I think there's kind of a long shot right now that would possibly happen.
Don't get your hopes up. Maybe, hey?
Well,
safe.
We'll see. There's always the we'll see. I'm not sensing anything. That's always a good one too. So we're like, well, we should get somebody who knows these players that they've already got. So we did. Dallas Eakins, 7:00 today from Mannheim, Germany, where he is now coaching, and I believe the sport manager of Adler Mannheim. And he's going to join us just after 7:00. We're going to give him a shout, and we're going to find out. Does he think Henrique's best used on the wing? Does he think he's best used down the middle? How good of a bottom six forward can Carrick be? How about Carrick dropping the mitts last night? Trying to get the boys going. That's how you roll into a new place. Go out, find the toughest dude on the other team, and be like, okay, let's go. Here we go. Did pretty well too. Popped the lid off. Took a couple of jabs that put him down at the end, but overall, I think you got to be happy with that. So
And that toughest dude ran somebody about a minute after a whistle.
Yeah.
And that was,
So we'll. Your tweets are killing me. Eric just tweeted
It's
out.
a big day.
We'll see Nielsen on any more potential moves from the Oilers. It's too good. Anyway, Dallas Eakins is going to join us over the phone at 7:05 today. We will have Derek Van Diest. DVD is going to pop by around 7:45. If the Oilers, 'tis be done. How do we summarize the deadline? And, I like the moves that they've made, but I can see why people will be like, could have got a little bit more. Probably wanted a little bit more, right? So you've got that kicking around out there. Let's lay out the rest of the show for you today. And then we'll get into your thoughts. You can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Go see our friends over at PJ's. They are going to look after you. ParisJewelers.com is where you can get in. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox.
The bling box.
It's the ring box. It's the bling box.
It's the ring box. It's the bling box. It's the Paris Jewelers inbox. And they got lots of fancy shiny things.
Look at this, look at that.
Not just for the ladies. They got jewelry for men too. The ring box, the bling box, the Paris Jewelers inbox.
There you go. There you go. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. These A&W breakfasts are hitting hard.
It's going down a dream.
I know. I just
Yeah.
want to stop doing the show and
Sneaky good.
eat this breakfast, man.
And you get a good, quantity, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
In
It's
this
real
economy,
nice. It's
that's
real
a
nice.
full
In this
plate.
economy, I mean, come on. Unbelievable. All right. So the 6 o'clock hour looks like this. I mean, part of me doesn't even want to talk about that game last night. That's one of those things where you're just
Flush.
like, throw it out.
Flush
it.
It's Buffalo tomorrow morning, man.
Don't
Quick
worry about
turnaround.
it.
You can't be looking back. Are you kidding me right now? You're on a 4-game road
The
trip.
last thing.
Yeah. And you know what? They beat the team that arguably would be the hardest on this trip.
Yep.
So you lose to the team that arguably, so it's, I don't know, soft, really.
You're doing
But
all right.
you're fine.
You're doing all
Move
right.
on, yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
I don't think we need to.
I don't think it's the
on
end
a
of the
Friday
world.
morning show and trade deadline day, and we're going to break down a loss to the Blue Jackets.
I mean, we will. We have the morning after show, so we'll certainly,
Briefly, I mean,
we'll
we
certainly
don't-
get into
yeah.
it. But
and then move on. Yeah.
let's see here. Loomis says if they're done, it's a B-. Penner's Pancakes is in and says B- is a reasonable grade.
Anything in the B's.
I think. But no. I would say this is not a B+.
Okay.
I think it's a B to a B-.
Sure.
I know we're like, this is the only thing. Like, this is completely justifiable. I saw a lot of people, like yesterday on Two Guys after the Stetcher trade, people were not happy. I don't know if you've slept on it another night. You've got to look at Carrick. You got to look at Henrique now. Maybe it's kind of
There's a lot more negative than, because you were both around in the moment. And I know the Henrique
Well,
Carrick thing.
it was very like
This
people-
was more negative than the Henrique, in terms of, what are they doing?
Well, because it's not like people hate Stetcher.
No,
They're just
no.
like, that's it. Like, that's the move on the blue line. Now, with that being said, I don't think it's crazy to think that Stetcher can play on this blue line ahead of or mixed in with CC and Desharnais. He moves the puck better than both of them. He skates better than both of them. That's two pretty key things come postseason.
Got a bit of an attitude about him, hey? Like he's,
Well,
he's got a, like
I
he's got a bit
know
of an
he's a
edge.
little
Like,
guy,
yeah,
but there's a little bit of an edge there. So I don't think it's crazy to think that we'll have these discussions come playoff time that is it better for the team to have Stetcher in there than one of those other two guys? I think that's a legitimate conversation. I think right now he's being viewed likely by the team and the fan base as insurance. I would think the management probably thinks he could be a little bit more than insurance. Fan base probably isn't there just yet, but I think he's more than insurance. I think if you get a look at him, you might actually end up liking him more than what they got on the right side a little bit further down the list. So
a little upside here from what we.
Well, I mean,
like you could,
limited upside,
Yeah,
but I don't know, Trev. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I think he's going to surprise quite a few fans. Personally, I watched a lot of Flames games, and I said this in the pregame last year. I watched a lot of Flames games near the end of the season, and Troy Stetcher. I was talking to my buddies back home, and they're all diehard Flames fans, and they were very surprised. He was one of, if not their best defenseman in the last 20 game stretch last year. Not even joking, and he was so noticeable. He's one player that I was like, I remember watching. I forget what game it was, but it was last season. I'm like, wow, Stetcher's really improved his game. Like this is I don't remember him being like this before in Vancouver, but yeah, he's a shifty skater. He's very agile. Puck to the net. There's a lot of things that I like about his game, and I really do think he's going to surprise.
Yeah,
quite a few players Oilers fans.
I think he factors in.
JCD 780 Stetcher is a dog.
A dog.
And he spells dog AWG. Like the
so
dog.
real, yeah. But is that dog on a bone? Right? There's that. So you got to see it. I mean, but I guess I want to see it.
Yeah,
I want to
wait
see him on that back end. I mean, as somebody said in the nasty chat, Nash says that game was brutal last night. Stetcher could have done better than any of those 6 last night. Right, like Bouchard last night, not good enough. The Cody Ceci, the soft chip, like super duper soft chip behind the net that gets picked off. What's that? That now with Stetcher in line, a play like that should get you out of the lineup. That should be it. Okay, you know what? You got to be more focused. You got to have a little bit more urgency on the bloody puck. So I think Stetcher. I'll just say I think he factors in more than people think he's going to factor in, and I think he skates well enough that you could play him alongside Darnell Nurse. And actually, I think there might be something there. I would like to see Stetcher and Nurse for a couple of games just to see. It's not like Desharnais and CC have locked down that spot. They shouldn't have, at least. So what say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or you can hit us up in the nasty chat as well. RCN is in, resident Flames fan, but hardcore nasty. As a Flames fan, I was hoping Calgary re-signed Stetcher last summer. It's a sneaky good ad. So
if RCN's saying it,
well, that leads me to believe that's it on the blue line. Yeah. Like I know they've been linked to Jordan Eberle, and I got some time for that. Like at this point, if the Oilers have made their decision that that's it on the blue line, I do look at it and go, I get it. I think Stetcher could possibly do as good as CC, if not better. We'll see how Desharnais factors in. Like the Desharnais-Stetcher thing's very interesting because depending on the matchup, you got two exactly opposite defensemen, right? So I like the versatility that I guess he brings compared to CC and Desharnais. But I look overall, and I think I'd have to agree with the B minuses that are rolling out there because what they have done is they've taken their strength and made it stronger. That's their forward group. And then they've dabbled on the blue line. If this team does eventually lose at some point in the postseason, I still think we look at the blue line and go, should have somehow tried to get a better upgrade there. And who knows, maybe Stetcher slides in and his ability to move the puck and skate a little bit really helps the situation. But yeah, I think B- is a fair deadline. I know
B-. I thought half glass full like you would have done maybe a B.
You know what? I do. You're right. It is deadline day. I don't want to be like a super negative Nelly.
Yeah.
So let's do
Give
it.
him a B.
You know what, Eric? You're the insider.
Give him-
If you think I should give him a B, I'll give him a B.
Sure.
I'll give him a B. Something to keep tabs on as we work our way through the show today. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. I didn't finish laying out the show for you. I got totally sidetracked here, so we're going to continue to discuss everything going on here at the deadline. You know, if Henrique settles in as the third line center, you could mix in a Jordan Eberle still. And they could still get that done.
A little tinsel on the tree. Why not at this point, right? Like it's...
You could still get that done. You need 75% retention, so you have to mix in a third team. Trev, where do you come out on also, like, that's just sort of like got some cap space left, a little bit of a bonus. I don't think he's necessarily like the perfect guy to add to the group because he's exactly what they need type of thing. But I mean, at this point, I'm like, why the hell not?
On getting Ebbs back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a good old fashioned reunion tour come playoffs. The idea is definitely just the thought of him and Nuge being on the line again is kind of cool. But I mean, last time they were on the line in the playoffs, they didn't really do good at all.
Wow.
But in saying that was quite some time ago. That was his first playoff debut, and since then, his numbers in the playoffs have actually been really good. Last year, he was pretty clutch. He's a clutch performer. So, if the offer is right, yeah, I think I would love to see it. Honestly,
I can't remember who it was. One of the kind of Oilers fan accounts that I follow. I apologize to the guy. I can't remember which one. Just a sec. Let me check. Maybe I ended up liking it. I thought it was a pretty funny thing last night. Let's see here. Did I save it? No, I didn't save it last night. But it was like Jordan Eberle doesn't score in playoffs, gets traded for Strome. Strome gets traded for Spooner. Spooner ends up being Sam Gagner. Sam Gagner gets sent down. They acquire Eberle to try to add scoring in playoffs. It's just like
complete the circle.
Yeah. I guess that is that's the cycle of life there. That's straight out of the circle of life, straight out of Lion King.
And lights it up in the postseason.
Yeah.
Like just can't stop scoring. Eh?
Yeah. All right, so we're looking at like a B minus. Is that a fair grade for Ken Holland's trade deadline? And I still got time for people who text in and are like, you think Ken Holland's last trade ever is going to be Troy Stecher? Maybe. I mean, if that's what's required, I don't know if GM goes, this is it.
I don't think
that's it.
The thought process isn't going through his mind. I'm sure
Right,
he's,
I don't
he's
think
doing
so.
a job, but
It's a fun
we
fun
have fun with
fantasy
it. Yeah,
world to
sure,
live in
yeah.
type of thing. But I don't see that. I don't see that being the case. Of like, oh, you got to have motivation to do better because it's your last one. I don't think that's how it's going to work out. Interesting mixed reaction both on the text line and over on Twitter. If you're watching on Twitter this morning, hammer the thumbs up for us. Let's get to 100 thumbs up. If not, when we have Dallas Eakins on, we'll talk about German soccer.
look, I'm ready to go.
I know you're ready to go.
Give me the sign.
DVD's going to be by around 7:45 today. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. I says pardon in the third hour of the show. That's good. Coming up in hour number 2. And a beer of the week today. We're going to have a couple of cheers for Henrique and Carrick and the new guys here. So Scott's going to pop by. The hangout today will be a good one. Glue Guy will be in. Obviously, Maddie and Tommy and Glue Guy. Trevor, are you on Hangout today?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the boys will be keeping you up to date on everything happening on the trade deadline front. And then from 11 until around 2-ish today, myself, Joaquin Gage, Tommy Gazzola right here, extended 3-hour trade deadline oil stream today, here and only here on Edmonton Sports Talk. So 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the Nasty Chat as well. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios, where I think there's an outside chance there's some Popeyes around here for lunch today. Just throwing it out there.
Well, the new location is open, and now it's much closer. We don't need to go out to the the depths of the city or whatever. We're down the block.
Yeah.
Walk down, pop down, and get it.
Guys, I typically listen via the web browser or on YouTube, but this morning I just told Siri to play Edmonton Sports Talk, and Siri started casting the station through Apple Music via TuneIn. But I don't even have the TuneIn app. Somebody mentioned this the other day on the YouTube chat. They're like, Dusty, did you know the show just plays live in Apple Music? I was like, I don't think so. But apparently it does.
I don't think so.
So let's try this. Let's try this. Where's the phone?
Uh-oh. Not today.
Here it is. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, here it is. I got it. Let's see here. Hey Siri, play Edmonton Sports Talk. I have a bad relationship with my Siri.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It does play it. Wow.
Well, there you go.
How about that?
How about that?
I had no idea. All right, so I guess you can listen to us on Apple Music through TuneIn.
How about that?
So yeah, now you can literally just say, "Hey Siri, play Edmonton Sports Talk," and it works.
Or you could say, "Hey Siri, please, can you play Edmonton?" I mean,
If you want to be
if you want to
polite,
get back
if you
in
want
the
to be
good
polite
books
to
here,
Siri,
I'd say,
that's fine too. That's fine. Oh, my iPad is just going crazy here too. I didn't even think about that. All right, well, that's good news. Tell your friends. I can't listen. It's too tough. Actually, if you have an iPhone, just say, "Hey Siri, play Edmonton Sports Talk," and it works just
Adam
fine.
from Moncton, New Brunswick. Can you bring back Eberle and add a done to the deal if you ship Fogle, CC, Holloway, Lavoie firsts? Not sure on all the money working, to be honest, though. Is that an over-the-top ad for Stanley Cup run? Your thoughts? Seems like a lot to do on a...
Well, I did have my buddy, Eddie the Gambler, text me when I woke up this morning. I see this. You're telling me Holland couldn't have offered more to the Canes for Gensel? Good Lord. I guess Broberg or Holloway or both were a condition because of the conditional first based upon getting to the finals. That's a joke. Dubas definitely wanted prospects, so I'm guessing those two were the asking price. Yeah, it's interesting because...
all in or all in?
I mean, I looked this morning on Carolina's, like, it depends where you look. On The Athletic, which I don't even know how I saw because I don't pay the 99 cents a month, but I saw The Athletic's top 10 list, I think, and 3 of the guys that were traded to Pittsburgh in that deal are on the Hurricanes' top 10 list, at least on The Athletic. It's funny who you look at. Some people are reporting it as a conditional first. Others are reporting it as a conditional second. It's a second that could end up being a first if they go the distance. So, yeah. Dusty, quit saying it. My home pod won't shut up. Says she can't find you. See, well, apparently on Siri. Siri can find it. Hey, guys, stop saying Siri. It keeps interrupting the stream for me. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
We won't do that experiment again.
I'll stop saying that. I'll stop saying that this morning. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you did miss the Gensel trade that finally got locked in last night, it did involve a guy who played in the Spengler Cup this year. So I always get excited about that. Ty Smith. Ty Smith ends up going with Jake Gensel to the Carolina Hurricanes. Dubas gets his boy, Michael Bunting. Ville Koivunen.
Maybe that's the story of the whole trade deadline here. I
That's
could
what
see
it
that
is.
being one of the main ones.
How's that not the headline this morning?
should be.
Dubas gets Bunting. Ville Koivunen, who's like a point-per-game guy as a 20-year-old in Finland. Decent numbers. Cruz Lucius, who leads his college team in scoring.
Great name.
Ponomarev is a Russian who's in the American Hockey League, who was a second-round pick. And then conditional first, but it's a second that could become a first. And then a 2024 fifth-round pick as well. So the good news here, and this is a good news start to the day for the Edmonton Oilers. Jake Gensel stays out east.
That's somebody texted in.
That's a win.
In your arms race, you're hunkering down right now this morning in your bunker.
Straight up win.
There's Hannafins flying overhead. You're expecting the big Gensel bomb, and it's not happening.
Now somebody out east take Buchnevich as well.
That's the next.
That's the next step.
to maybe.
And Toffoli. I feel like somebody in the arms race in the West steps up on Toffoli. We'll see what happens. As I scroll through the trade tracker,
Markstrom's still out there too.
There's one team logo that does not pop up that I'm a little surprised about, and that's the Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins have not waded into this thing just yet. I feel like something comes
brewing
there at some point, but maybe not. I mean, the Bruins are usually relatively active, so we'll see how that sorts itself.
Speaking
out.
of the West Arms race, 2 Sharks acquiring Jack Thompson last night as well in the Duclair deal.
In the Duclair deal, yeah, that's right. That went down later last night. Anthony Duclair and a 7th to Tampa for Jack Thompson and a 2024 third rounder. And the Maple Leafs, I mean,
They have so many defensemen.
these guys and their D-men.
Save some for the rest of us.
All right, the Toronto Maple Leafs, nobody is acquiring D-men like the Toronto Maple Leafs right now.
Demon.
They follow up Lyubushkin with an Edmondson and then add a Cade Weber.
Still eating, hey?
Last night.
Not enough.
Yeah. Trey Living is just... I saw Leafs fans yesterday being like, Trey Living, let him cook. Let him cook. Brad's cooking.
Trey be cooking.
That's quite something. Yeah.
Cruz Lucius. What a name.
Yeah.
Give me that card.
I'm pretty sure his brother's Chaz Lucius. I did them at
of course, yes.
U18s in Medicine Hat a few years back with Craig Button, the older Lucius. All right, let's get to an update. Usually trade deadline morning, relatively quiet.
Well, they call it the calm before the storm.
Then it heats up.
Yeah. We are,
Especially this year with so many trades already. Like, imagine this morning if every trade since the Tarasenko trade just went down in the next 3 hours.
Well, we're literally in a hurricane, right? Like the first couple of days, the hurricane hit us. The wall. Now we're sitting in the eye, and it's cutting. You're looking around, and everything's, and you're like, oh, well, this ain't that
Everything's
bad.
boarded up. You're
Eventually,
ready.
we're gonna have to go back through that wall again. So it's coming. But enjoy the calmness for now because it's gonna get heated up.
Morning after show is on the way next, and Cracks and Packs coming up here around 6:45 as well. Dallas Eakins. We're going to connect with him on a phone, which is always a scary proposition, especially if you're Greg Wyshynski for some reason lately. But Dallas Eakins just after 7 o'clock. Henrique, does he like him better down the middle? Does he like him on the wing? What are they getting in Carrick? How are these guys going to fit in? And we'll also find out how things are in Germany as he's coaching now in Germany. So Dallas Eakins just after 7 o'clock today. Derek Van Diest around 7:45 this morning. Right now, we call him the insider, but he's also got your updates. Lieutenant Eric, take it away.
Oilers dropping a 4-2 decision to the Blue Jackets. This other win streak snapped at 5 games. Zach Hyman with his 43rd of the season, while Corey Perry notched his 9th. The 4-game road trip continues tomorrow morning in Buffalo. You can wake up with Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev. They'll have your Oil Stream pregame show starting at 9 tomorrow morning right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. Elsewhere last night, Kings topping the Sens 4-3 in overtime. Canucks over Vegas 3-1. Flames double up the Lightning 6-3. And the Preds, they have points in 10 following a 4-2 win over the Sabres. NHL Trade Deadline, of course, falling this afternoon, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. 4 games around the NHL. Later tonight, the East leading Celtics have dropped 2 straight following a 115-109 loss to Denver. While the Raptors falling on the road to the Suns 120-113. 8 games in the NBA tonight, including the Lakers at home to the Bucks. Oil Kings 4-game road trip continues tonight in Prince Albert. The club will visit the Blades tomorrow before rounding out the trip Sunday evening down in Lethbridge. AJHL Best of 5 play-in series got underway last night. It was Drayton Valley over Camrose 5-4. Canmore shutting out Fort McMurray 5-0, while Grand Prairie blanked Olds 4-0. All game 2s will go later tonight. And it's qualifying day down at the Briar in Regina this afternoon. Brendan Botcher faces off against Saskatchewan. The loser of that game will face Northwest Territories later tonight. While the Reed Carruthers Manitoba rink will take on Brad Gushu and Team Canada. The loser of that game will take on the Dunstone-led Manitoba rink. Sports update brought to you by Green Plan. With construction season coming up around the corner, planning season is already in full swing. For all of your environmental planning needs, contact Green Plan Environmental Consultants. Green Plan can assist with any of your environmental concerns, no matter how big or small the project. Green Plan is here to help. You can check them out today online at green-plan.com.
Being a fan of the Oilers today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to have your say? It's the morning after show where we will talk about the game and let you know who you should blame. You want a show where you will know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game. You want a show so people know if the problems are still the same. You want to show every morning after the game.
Oh, what's going on? It is 6:36 on deadline day right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. You can listen on iHeart. You can listen on TuneIn. And, of course, you can just listen at edmontonsportstalk.com. And apparently, if you say listen to Bloom on your phone to Bloom, it'll work for you, too. I don't want to mess up any of the streams right now, but yeah. Say, hey, huh? Listen to huh? And it'll work. It will work. Zulu's in and says, the Vegas Golden Knights aren't even the Oilers' biggest issue. Fun side game. What is the Oilers' biggest issue right now? Who is the biggest concern for the Edmonton Oilers
Or what?
right now? Because on two guys yesterday, and we're going to get to the morning after show coming up right away, really still don't want to discuss this Oilers Blue Jackets game, but we're going to. I said on two guys yesterday, like all these teams have made additions. I still look at the West and go, oh, it's wide open. Like no West team has made a move where I'm like, well, that's it. Oilers' chances of winning a Stanley Cup are gone. Nor have the Oilers made a move where I go, well, that's it. They're the Stanley Cup favorite, even though in a lot of places they would be the betting Stanley Cup favorites right now. So, I don't know how much has technically changed.
Like if the Kings were to get a goalie, that would be a seismic.
Yeah, if the Kings are
like
to
that,
land,
that would be a something today.
I mean, if Markstrom goes to the Kings,
that's a move.
mind you, the Oilers do pretty well against Markstrom, but
But just
still,
overall,
like that's,
that's a. But you're right.
Or if
nothing
Colorado
really,
got Markstrom, nothing against
Sure.
Georgia,
No,
but
but
something along those lines, and then maybe. But right now, there has not been a power shift in the West. People have made their additions. There's still time. But as we went over the trade bait board, it's not a sexy trade bait board today. A lot of the big, important names have already moved, including Gensel last night, staying out east. Dallas, Tanev, makes them better. Monahan, Winnipeg, he made them better, definitely. Winnipeg might still do something here. They still got some future assets and some cap space, so we'll see. Winnipeg could still factor in.
What would be
here,
an area? I mean, speaking with us on the daily, what's
well,
what
Toffoli.
would-
I
that
know
would be
Huss
the-
said they were talking about Toffoli in Winnipeg. So, Vancouver. I'm not even technically sure that trade made them better. So
I don't even know. Yeah,
you've got that going for you. Vegas, Hannafin should be better. Oilers with Henrique and Carrick should be better. Like everybody sort of has just improved by a similar amount, in my opinion.
and the Flames keep eliminating and keep climbing up the standings. So make sense of that, if you will.
Eric Stewart is in and says, Jack Campbell for Toffoli. It is silly season. It is the silliest of seasons.
Well,
and we got a lot of time for it.
it's worth an ask.
We got a lot of time for it. Guys, the one team in the West that the Oilers will have the toughest time against is definitely Winnipeg. That comes from Jeff on the farm today.
I've already asked why.
Well, that's what insiders do.
Well, I
You
just
asked
say,
the
yeah, what is it?
questions.
Gold? What is the team chemistry? The DNA? What is it?
You ask the questions, buddy. That's just how it works. All right, let's get into your morning after show for EM Utility Locating. Don't kill yourself. Call EM Utility Locating. They'll look after you. Everything that's going on beneath the ground for a job, they'll keep you safe. Call 780-222-9497. Visit www.emutilitylocating.com. GPR and concrete scanning, damage prevention, planning, design, education, and training, and so much more over at the award-winning EM Utility Locating. They were voted the locators of the year. What? That's amazing still to me. I love it.
What?
Now we're all going to be in the running for the awards as well for the Esties. Right? That's going to be going to be everybody here will probably be an award winner of some type.
We all get a ribbon.
EM Utility Locating also, as the award winners, are running free information and safety sessions on utility locating safety to support Dig Safe Month in April. All you have to do is fire them a phone call and set it up. Matt will swing by, run a free no sales pitch seminar, just like that. Set it up, show you this is it, this is how it's safe, and help you out because it's Dig Safe Month in April. And I think you could say the Oilers have to dig themselves out of a little bit of a sludge after last night's game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Big moment that happened in this game. What do you got?
I know they scored on the with PP2.
Yeah,
Like, I guess
the Perry redirect.
Yeah. And I was kind of looking at that 2-minute advantage when they get going afterwards. Like, I meant, what, the empty net goal to seal it away? Like, I don't know. It was a lame game. I don't think we need to really take too much time to explore and unzip it this morning, but maybe just puck drop. Like, it was sloppy.
Show up.
It was, that was my key to the victory. It was show up, and they didn't show up. So I guess that's the big moment. They didn't show up. I chalked it up to whatever you want. It was sloppiness. The defense was.
I don't want to read into it too much, but like
it was a game off.
The moment Cece just leaves that puck behind the net, doesn't put anything on it, and they steal it and put it in the back of the net, you're like, oh, it's one of those nights.
Yeah, the theme.
Now they still made it interesting at the end. Had to claw back from down 3-0, but like those types of plays are the ones you're like, damn it, man. Like, what's going on here?
Making it interesting against a team like Columbus shouldn't be a sentence we're saying on the morning after show. And
that's
credit to Kelvin Pickard as well, who I think at times, was doing the Lord's work, shall we say? Like it's
the one went
not
right
to say
through
the game
his
would be
arm.
different if Skinner. Yeah. But I mean, later on in the game, he was actually keeping them in it a bit. But I don't know. It's as we say, flush it, move on. Buffalo tomorrow morning, re-rack.
Still a bad hockey game.
Terrible hockey game.
Bad hockey game from the Edmonton Oilers against the Columbus Blue. Like the Blue Jackets. Now, Blue Jackets, they got to be happy. They beat Vegas and Edmonton the same bloody week. So congratulations to them. Super stat of the night. What do you got?
100 points.
100 points.
100 points.
I'm going to get into that a little bit later on with them. That's good.
It's a momentous occasion
or
for
I just
Connor
part
McDavid.
one or the other. But another 100 points.
99% of those being assists this season. So good on the captain, Connor McDavid.
As for other stats that really stood out last night, I mean, they have the Oilers down for only 4 giveaways. The Edmonton Oilers had 4 giveaways in the game last night.
I don't know.
Are we talking about giveaways on the power play in the third, and that's it? Is that the only time they counted giveaways? On the other side, Columbus apparently only had 1 giveaway last night.
Yeah, the giveaway guy was.
So whoever was on giveaways last night was not paying attention.
I think, Tommy and I, we talked about that for maybe 10 minutes last night. I was blown away. I was blown away because he was reading off the stats. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that happened in one shift. Like,
look at
it was terrible.
Though.
Yeah.
I'm
Trying to
think
9 takeaways, though.
Yeah.
That's where the stat is.
So there's...
in Columbus, they count them as takeaways, not giveaways.
They give him credit on the takeaways as opposed to the giveaways.
Well, Columbus has 9, and Edmonton have 2 takeaways, so I guess
Still,
that's where you... But
yeah, that was a stat that kind of stood out to me. I thought that was...
They couldn't make a pass. Like, there's no way. Like, that's I don't know what Buddy was doing when he was writing down these stats. But I mean, it was they were too fancy. They couldn't make a pass. 1 goal, led Warren Fogle. He said in the post game, he's like, I passed it right to Buddy, and I shouldn't do that. Like that happened so many times. So I don't know what was going on.
Gave one away right behind the net.
And that's 2. That's 2 that just led to goals.
Yeah, who is it? Northside Sandwiches giveaways that led to goals. That's the stat, right? Like that could be the stat for last night.
maybe the guy writes him down on his hand.
And that's Trev writes stuff down on his hand.
I don't mean to put the spotlight on you this morning, but
I said I go over there to Trev today. I go, here's Dallas Eakins' number. We're gonna call him just after 7:00. He's writing down his hand. I said, do you want me to get you a notepad?
I love it.
We got notepads kicking all over. He's like, oh no, I like writing things on my hand.
I love your hand.
I mean,
by the end of the week, covered in ink.
You're 25 years old, and we got paper all over this building.
Appointments and everything.
Why are you writing stuff on your hands, man?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just convenient. I don't have one by me, and it's kind of a time crunch. I had to get all the photos prep for the show. I don't know. I've always just
What's your health card number? Do you?
Yeah.
Give me a second,
well, here, wait. That
was weird.
Keep it up. I want ink all over the hands.
That was that was a good one last night. 780-218-9999. Hit us up in the nasty chat. We're in the morning after show here. Trev, let me know what we got for post game too. We'll hear a little bit of that coming up. 3 stars of the game last night. Tarasov, Olivier, Sillinger. Who's your 4th star of the game last night?
Well, on a night like that, such as that, I think you can always look to one guy, and boom, there he is, Zach Hyman. Oh, and he got another goal. Of course he did.
Of course he does.
On a garbage game night and not too much to celebrate, Zach Hyman is your shining 4th star. A goal, 4 shots on net as well, joint leading the forward group alongside Corey Perry in the shot department. So, yeah, why not? Zach Hyman, again, goal, 43rd of the season, 4 shots. He is my 4th star of the evening.
38th star of the game last night. I'm going to put it on the entire blue line. The entire blue line. Maybe with the exception of Ekholm, who did finish +1.
Okay.
Like Ekholm is just Echo. I mean, it's over 21 minutes. So, yes, your 38 stars of the game will be Bouchard, Ceci, Nurse, Kulak, and Desharnais for last night's hockey game.
How about Gene, too, eh?
Well, I was going to go to Steady Eddie of the evening.
Sorry, Ed.
Yeah. Steady Eddie of the evening for EM Utility Locating. Gene Principe, a legend, the GOAT, one of the best dudes of all time, and just is always on. Always on.
Pro wrestling is like sometimes ridiculous enough. I actually believed Gene fighting himself in that hallway was real.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he sold it to me. I was like, wow, what a storyline. He kicked the crap out of himself. And Jack couldn't get over the fact that it wasn't ketchup.
Yeah.
He gave barbecue sauce and a hot sauce mix. That whole episode was...
Gene Principe is a legend. He's the legend that Edmonton does. Gene is the best thing about the sports community in this city.
I take back my big moment that happened. That was the moment.
He does a great job. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He's the nicest dude of all time. Like, so I
handle some pretty emotional interviews.
Yeah, I mean,
Constantly.
he literally, Gino's the best. He's the best. He's the best man. He just is. If there was an award at the Estes it's just called Best Man, Gene Principe's winning it. It's as simple as that.
Year after year after year.
Yeah. Did I tell you how we got that family in? Did we talk about that? The family that was there at the game on the road in Boston getting the jersey signed, and they got him on the broadcast.
Please.
The guy was exchanging. So in the Boston game, there was a family that was there, and they got to go to the morning skate and everything. And the dad had been Instagramming with Gino. And then Instagram shut down that day. Remember, it was like Instagram, Facebook shut down. So he slides into my DMs on Twitter. He goes, Dusty, I was talking to Gene, and he was going to get us into the morning skate. I got my 5 kids here with me. And then Instagram went down, and I can't. He goes, can you get me in touch with him? And I'm like, well, I can't just give out Gino's. You never know. So
it's quite a game, a ruse.
So I was just like, you know what? Let me text him. And so I text Gene. I sent him the guy's number. Gene could have easily been to this guy like, hey, sorry, like,
could have left him on red.
Lost you on Instagram, and that was it. So I sent him the guy's number. Say, Gino, this was the guy you're talking to on Instagram about the morning skate. Gino texts him, gets his family in. They get their jerseys signed. They get to be on TV. And it's like you'll never forget that moment. And you're that family. And that's only because Gene Principe is a great dude. So he's the best.
Somebody said he should be a mandatory best man for any and all weddings happening around Edmonton and area. Like, you are required to add him into the party.
He's the Steady Eddie of the evening. Brilliant. And so I know some people might be like, the shtick. Enjoy it while you have it. Because when Gene Principe moves on, there'll be another broadcasting robot put in there.
Yeah.
That talks about the line combinations and then throws it up to Jack and Louie.
Or somebody trying to do a shtick that doesn't really pull it. And let's not forget about the whole cannon thing prior to puck drop. I mean, the cannon goes off. Gene.
He's the best. National treasure. He's an NT. He's an NT.
Put him on the loony.
National treasure. Gene Principe, man. He's your Steady Eddie of the evening. Who do we have for postgame, Trev? Who do we got?
I got Knobloch, Fogel, and Adam Henrique.
Got to go with Henrique, I think,
agree.
by default. Here's Adam Henrique after his first game as a member of the Edmonton Oilers.
Worry and fuss over what line everyone's going to be on. It lasts like 20 minutes. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the way the game is going, you'd try to, and again, it's new to me, new coach and staff, how things are kind of run from what I'm used to, but you're just trying to create something, have a pushback there. And again, that's how things kind of shuffle out and go, and you are hopeful to be able to build chemistry with somebody early on in a new team, and there's a lot that goes into it, but try not to just overthink it, just kind of try to go out there and play.
Do we blame that first period on just an unsettled team and new things and new roster?
Well, I mean, there's nothing to really blame it on. I think just a couple of mistakes that end up in the back of your net. And then, Sammy does a great job going out there, and that's a big fight. It's a tough job to do. And we just got to respond thereafter, have a good shift after with some energy. So, I thought we responded pretty well in the second period, but just came up short there. Had some opportunities, but not maybe not enough established offensively.
Did you ever feel comfortable in this game, given the yeah?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I try to just kind of go in with the mindset. I mean, it's just hockey, right? You're just going out and play, and it's little changes, but the guys did a good job just talking to me on whatever line was going and trying to be same page and just try to, just try to go out there and play. Had a couple opportunities, a bad penalty on my part to take at the time, but overall felt pretty good.
At least you're getting the full array of things.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things you want to get here as soon as possible and get into the mix. No sense taking an extra day. I think getting here and coming here and playing and getting that first game under my belt is important.
It goes up from here.
There you go. Adam Henrique, a hockey player's hockey player. I think that's how you described that post game. Hey, I'd also say, Adam Henrique, welcome to the Edmonton Oilers, where if anything struggles, they immediately put that top line back together and try to get back into the hockey game. Get used to it. That's what happens here. That's what happens.
Let's get a strap on you there, old Henrique. I know what he's doing there. That 5 o'clock show is coming in real nice. You just get that chin strap in there when you get back to town next week, and
you know who else is growing a little bit of a beard? And I don't know if you'll still see it today on our deadline day coverage, but Gager's got that full. I said to him, I said, dude, you at least got to shave one in and take a picture. I don't care what you do with it after.
I like it because you can't hide it.
So,
if you want to get into charge sneakily, you'll figure it out eventually.
Red text in this morning at 780-218-9999. Guys, the big moment was when Knobloch decided to break up the top line that had won them 5 games in a row. So he's talking about heading into the game,
too much
breaking up. But you can also look at it and go, yeah, but those guys weren't together when they won 16 in a row. So, I don't think this team has to only have success when McDavid and Draisaitl are together. I also think that in a perfect world, you have your success when Draisaitl and McDavid are apart. It always is frustrating, though, that as soon as they struggle, it's like, here we go, magic wand. I mean, if you want a magic wand, just magic wand it all the time, or leave them on their other lines and allow them to. So you thought Henrique could play with Draisaitl and Kane, and you thought, okay, but you couldn't get a read on that after last night. All right, you split them up less than 20 minutes in. So now I guess you have to, what are the lines on Saturday?
Well, look, we said they have options.
Draisaitl and Hyman, and then what we saw with
flexible options.
Yeah, I get, but I mean, at some point, you'd like to lock something in.
You'd like.
Now these guys just got here; there'll be some time, obviously, but I thought last night was kind of a good example of.
No, but you wave the magic wand once too many times, right? Like people will start getting onto the.
Yeah,
it's not. You can only do the magics for so long.
Yeah, like if you're a team going into the playoffs against the Oilers, like, man, if we can really hop on them here, they'll put McDavid and Draisaitl together, then we can put all of our eggs into that basket and try to defend against that line. And if we can shut them down, we're going to knock them off in 6 games.
Like the beauty of that option, too, is a bit of the surprise element in it, in a sense. Not surprise, but you just don't go to that well all the time. And
saw somebody text in and said they should put Gene Principe on our money. Somebody last night on Twitter was like, he should have a statue outside of the arena. Let's come up today with some other fun ways to honor Gene Principe when he eventually retires.
I think a realistic way would be a stamp.
Oh, a Gene Principe stamp.
I'd buy a book of stamps, postage stamps. That'd be pretty neat, like in a very regal
I like that one.
Him. Yeah.
I
don't think that's asking a lot. Canada Post, I'm sure they could.
How do we honor Gene Principe when he eventually retires? 780-218-9999 or hit us up in the nasty chat as well. We got Dallas Eakins coming up just after 7 o'clock, around 7:05 this morning. Let's crack some packs right now like we do on Friday mornings. Here we go.
If you see a card store on the side of the road, you think, gotta tweet it to the
Crack Pack, yeah. I'm tracking down all the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. Looking for the young guys today.
I got me a card, it's a heck of a pull, and we're tweeting it out to the Crack Pack. I got me a canvas, it's worth about 20, so hurry up and sell it to get more money.
The Crack Pack is a little long gang where
All right, of course, the hunt is on right now for the Connor Bedard Young Gun. I got a crack pack card break coming up. It's going to be posted at 7 o'clock this morning over on Facebook. We're going to do that tonight. Got the second half of that case. There's a Bedard sitting in there.
You've got him cornered.
Let's crack it tonight.
Ready
Should
to
be a
pounce.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go to Wayne's yesterday, but with the birthday party at Foam Fighters, by the way, Foam Fighters, pretty fun place for kids. With the birthday party yesterday, I was all tied up. So when I was leaving this morning, I was like, man, what do I have around the house to crack? And I still had a box of the CFL Game Used, which I think the new product actually just came out. Like the updated CFL Game Used just came out. Trev, you have to catch this. These are good cards. Good. All right, there we go. So we got 5 packs total. This is the product that you get 10 autographs out of the 5 packs. So you're gonna open up a pack. There's probably gonna be 2 autographs in there. This stuff is insane. This stuff is insane. I wonder if the new product is just as much. Don Jackson jersey card, Terry Williams Elks auto, and a Kadeem Carey 25 out of 25 3-color patch. This is just banger after banger after banger in these CFL cards. What did you get? Whoa! McLeod Bethel Thompson.
MBT in the double blue here for the Argos, but yeah, game patch.
Who's
that.
Who's that over there?
Tavon Smith.
Smith auto.
Elk. And Hergy Mayala auto.
Kenny Lawler patch. Every single card in this set is a patch or an auto. It's insane. Lucky Whitehead. Oh, and here's one for Marshall Bokeith. Willie Jefferson, 3-color patch, 15 out of 25.
Keenan LaFrance. Fabrics. Chris Van Ziel. Auto. And a Michael Riley, British Columbia Lions. Auto. This is a strong pack.
You too, Trev. What'd you get, buddy?
I got Matt Nichols auto.
Okay. Matty Nichols.
Not bad. Brandon Dozer auto.
Yeah.
Not bad. And then Javon Johnson fabric.
All right, there we go. Every single card.
That's sick.
Every single card you get out of this 2021 Game Use is either an auto. There's not even a base set. I mean, the base set is autos. It's ridiculous. I don't know if the new CFL Game Use comes with the same hit rate, because this whole thing seems like a mistake. Like there should never be this many hits.
If you need
in
a
the box.
good pick-me-up, like whether you're the sports gambling, the card breaking, if you need a pick-me-up to grow a couple inches, these are the cards.
This is the one. This is
will just get you back in the game.
I can't hit anything lately. Go pick up a box of CFL Game Use. You'll hit everything.
Not to mention how easy that pack was to open.
Oh yes, Trev.
yeah,
Congratulations.
very good.
I
That's
struggled
great.
with those, and that was nothing.
The $1 million bounty still hangs out there for that Connor Bedard 1-of-1 Young Gun. And Wayne Sports Cards obviously has that Upper Deck Series 2 that everybody's going after right now. So go see Wayne and his crew at Wayne Sports Cards just north of West Edmonton Mall. Slide on in there today. I know on Wednesday it was insanely busy.
They're just getting through the
It's
line.
going to roll through the weekend too. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So I'm doing 6 more boxes tonight. Pretty sure the Connor Bedard Young Gun is going to be pulled tonight. Not the imagine if we pulled the $1 million one. I just want the regular one for somebody in the crack pack.
You would pass out. Your wife or children would be slapping you and waking you up, and then what would you do?
I'd probably say a swear word.
Yeah,
I'd
they'd
be
probably
so fired up.
Yeah.
And then I'd shut down the crack pack and Edmonton Sports Talk immediately, go into hiding and sell the $1 million card.
Never hear from you again.
What happened to Dusty? He had a really good thing going with the boys at EST. Well, he pulled the $1 million Bedard card and went into hiding.
Monday morning, it's HR Daddy in the chair with me.
Hello. Pretending to be me.
He's got it.
Puts on a plaid shirt, shaves in a chin strap, and it's go time.
This text unsigned: when Gene retires, he can become a pundit on your show.
That's a good one.
The real not so slim shady. You honor Gene with a stat chew. So there, people are playing today.
You know what? Real not so slim shady. You honor Gene with a statue. It could be the mixer text of the day today. Could be the mixer text of the day. It is trade deadline day, but Ken Holland, he doesn't mess around. He's likely already done, but we'll keep tabs on it. We'll get into that whole Jordan Eberle conversation on the way next year, right after 7 o'clock. Quick update: Dallas Eakins scheduled to join us over the phone from Germany. Coach Adam Henrique and Carrick. We're going to get his thoughts on both of those players and what he thinks they bring to the Edmonton Oilers. Where would they best be used? And we'll find out how coaching in Germany is for Dallas Eakins. So we'll get into all that coming up here just after 7 o'clock. First, an update with Lieutenant Eric.
Oilers dropping a 4-2 decision to the Blue Jackets last night that saw their 5-game win streak snapped. Zach Hyman recording his 43rd goal while Corey Perry notched his 9th in the loss. 4-game road trip will continue tomorrow morning in Buffalo. You can wake up with Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev. They'll have your Oil Stream pregame show starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. A few results from last night saw the Preds pick up points in 10 straight now following a 4-2 win over Buffalo. Flames double up Tampa 6-3, Vancouver over Vegas 3-1, and LA topping the Senators 4-3 in overtime. NHL Trade Deadline falling at 1 o'clock Mountain this afternoon with 4 games around the league later tonight. Late last night, it was Jake Gensel on the move. He's going to Carolina along with Ty Smith in exchange for Michael Bunting, a handful of prospects, and picks. East leading Celtics dropping 2 straight now following a 115-109 loss to Denver last night. 8 games around the NBA tonight, including the Lakers at home to the Bucks. Oil Kings 4-game road trip continues tonight with a stop in Prince Albert. The club will visit the Blades tomorrow night before rounding out the trip Sunday evening down in Lethbridge. AJHL Best of 5 play-in series got underway last night. Drayton Valley taking game 1 over Camrose 5-4, while Fort McMurray got shut out by Canmore 5-zip, and Olds falling to Grand Prairie 4-0. All game 2s will go later tonight. And qualifying day down at the Briar in Regina this afternoon, Brendan Boncher will take on Saskatchewan. The loser of that game will face the Northwest Territories later tonight, while the Reed Carruthers Manitoba rink will take on Brad Gushu and Team Canada. The loser of that game will face the Dunstone-led Manitoba rink.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. To Tutti and Eric and all in the back end. Like Wyszynski and Noodles, Captain Contagion. Maybe slip over to Coolbet to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Sharky's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat up the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about Amanda Canes? Macramel, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him given person, does he go on? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, there's nothing you can do about it. It is deadline day. Thank you very much for being here with us on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're watching on YouTube, we're not even 100 likes yet. What is this, amateur hour? Come on, hammer the thumbs up. Now we have to talk soccer with Dallas Eakins, and we're able to track him down. YouTube Chav's putting in the call right now. We're hoping to get him. He is in Germany. I think he will be driving, but we've got our fingers crossed on a connection that'll hopefully work, and we're going to talk a little bit about Adam Henrique and Sam Carrick if we can.
Hopefully he's on the Autobahn, hey?
Trev's trying to work that right now. You get voicemail? You go voicemail?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. It said California when I called it.
Yeah. Well, he's not on German number, so he would be on
so that makes sense.
his regular number.
Okay.
But what does it say, California? What are you talking about?
Well, like it says, like you're calling California, like it always says, like the place.
Okay.
And so I'm just like, I was just confused. I was like, you just said he was in Germany. And I'm like, wait, but he might be in California right now.
Okay. Well, I know he can text. We've been texting, so hopefully we'll be able to track him down.
He's got to pull the bike over to the side of the road. Hey?
Yeah, that's right.
It's hard to talk on a bike.
It was
when
funny.
You're,
he said he's driving. I was like, wait a second, driving? Who
are you?
What the heck? Anyway, we're hoping to track down Dallas Eakins. He is in Germany. We're going to try to get a hold of him and discuss a little bit what Henrique brings to the table, how he thinks the best to use him, and obviously Sam Carrick as well. It'll be brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, our insiders all season long, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. And it's funny you speak of insiders. We look over here, and I see Bob McKenzie on the Trade Breakers board, and I miss Bob McKenzie. I miss Bob McKenzie when we can't get him.
Of course, the Bob father. Hey,
Yeah. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Holloway deadline coming up as well when he gets back from Baco, obviously. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins signing up right now at proamsports.ca. Go to proamsports.ca. If you have your own items you want Nuge to sign, you can do that. If you have... If you want to take a look and browse their inventory of Nuge items, you can do that as well at proamsports.ca. So, Trevor, you can throw up Pro-Am there. We've got Derek Van Diest is going to join us coming up here around 7:45 today. More of your reaction to the Oilers' loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets as well. But this is going to be a good chat. I'm looking forward to catching up with him. Dallas Eakins joins us. He is somewhere in Germany right now on the phone. Dallas, good morning. How are you?
Well, good morning to you. And, it's mid-afternoon here. Beautiful sunny day. Everything's good.
You know what? Let's just quickly. I want to just catch up with you quickly, and then we'll get to the two players. How have things been going in Germany? What type of experience has it been for you, and what are you learning about the European game?
Well, hold on. I gotta ask you something first. Like, you gotta tell me, did you lead in with me with those like funny eyes that I do, or like donuts, or maybe Halsey giving the bench a shower? I just want to make sure what I'm walking into.
You know what?
I remember that stuff, and it's actually quite entertaining. So, good on you.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you the update on Germany.
Okay.
So, going back to my Toronto Maple Leaf days, when I was doing player development, I developed relationships with teams over here. And one of them was Mannheim. Daniel Hopp is the owner. I've had a long relationship with him. And he called me and he goes, I'm not sure if you would want to do this, but I need to make a change with my general manager. I need to make a change with my coach. And would you come over and help me sort this out? So I'm over here. I'm doing both roles. It has been a time management challenge, which has been great. Super inspiring stuff. I get management experience. It's been nothing but awesome. And the Hopp family, Daniel Hopp, this guy's inspired by hockey. He's very close with the NHL. Just an incredible place to work.
I'm funny. I'm happy you brought up the eyes thing because we have our eyes remix that we played for a few years, which people absolutely love. And they're like, Dusty, if you can get Dallas to say eyes today, that'll be one of the most amazing things ever. So thanks for checking off that box for us already, Dallas.
Yeah, you got it all. You got like Halsey shower, donut, and I'll say it all for you. There you go.
Hit for the cycle. Hit for the cycle. Hey, so just I'm always fascinated. I know I'm going to get a little bit sidetracked here because I've done the Spengler Cup for like 5 years now. So I dive into the European hockey scene every Christmas, and I'm fascinated by it. From a management perspective, that's got to be so unique for you to see how things happen over there with the recruitment of players and how that all works.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you what, Dustin, it is the Wild West. Like, in North America, we're all used to, okay, hey, that guy's under contract. You can't tamper with that. You can't talk to the agent. Like right now, like tonight, we're playing Cologne. Let's say they have a player that's under contract for next year. I can sign them tomorrow for the year after. Like, it's wide open on players. Obviously, players that are German or have a pathway to get German passports are critical. You really want to have a really strong German core. We can sign up to 11 imports. You can only dress 9. You can build these teams a number of ways, but the way I see it here is to get. We want to get younger, and we also want to get as many really great German players as we can.
Dallas, it's Eric here, and thanks again for joining us on the show this morning. You're a great sport, and thank you for all the material that you provided us selfishly over the years. But just wanted to get into the players that the Oilers acquired yesterday, and the reason you were on the program, having a bit of a connection with both in Adam Henrique and Sam Carrick. Carrick last night dropping the gloves in his Oilers debut. Looked like a horse out there. What can you go on about these two players, and what's the grade on them as you saw them when you were coaching them?
Well, number one, I'm not a betting guy, but I said to my wife, because she called right away, obviously she's known Sam Carrick. I coached Sam Carrick his very first year pro. I think he played 19 or 20 games for us that year at the Marlies. and then got him into San Diego. So I watched this kid go from basically a 20-year-old to now, having a family, married, incredible human being. And I said to my wife, I wish I could bet on hockey games because I would bet everything we have that Sammy Carrick's going to find a dance partner tonight right away. And sure enough, I saw this morning when I got up that he had been in one. So let me put it this way, and I won't go on too long on both these guys. And I really mean this when I say this. I have two daughters. They're 15 and they're 12. And if my wife and I can get our two daughters when they're in their mid-20s to have the same character, the same kindness, the same care for others that Adam Henrique and Sam Carrick have, then we will have done an excellent job as parents. And these two guys are just incredible. When I saw they ended up in Edmonton, I thought of the team there, but I thought more of the community of Edmonton and the people there. And I'm like, man, these guys are going to fit right in there. And I think they're going to be real fan favorites and really appreciated by the great fans there.
You know what? Let's just, from a coaching perspective, I'm curious, how important is it for a team to add good guys like you described them? I'm not saying everybody else is a jerk. I'm just saying, how important is it to add the quality character guys like this?
Well, it's everything because you know what? Like within a team, you can have two things. You can have positivity and you can have neutral. And after that, like any kind of negativity, it will spread like a virus. And great people, good character people, they either stay neutral and see things for what they are and try to find solutions, or they are positive. And so that right there is really important. The other thing that I like for the Oilers and the community there is like these, and this is nothing against young players. Young players are great, but these guys are men, and they've been through the battles. They've been through a ton of adversity over the especially last year in Anaheim. And I think when you come through adversity and you look back, you become very grateful for it because it's calloused your brain. You've got more tools to deal with maybe higher pressure situations. And going into the Stanley Cup playoffs in a Canadian market, you need some intestinal fortitude. And both of these guys are going to be well served by their adversity, their character, and that they're grown men with great, great strength.
One more for you, then we'll let you go. And just on Adam Henrique, we know he can play center. We know he can play the wing. Where did you use him, and where do you think he fits best?
We used him everywhere, man. Like, we were in one there last year, and even before that, before it started getting shredded down, when we had a manager change, like we were in games, we were knocking on the door of the playoffs. And with what I love about Rico, we need you to play center. Great. Need you to play left wing. Great. Need you to play right wing. Great. We need you to play the bumper on the power play. Okay. Can you kill this down? Yeah, I got it. Can you go take that face off? Absolutely. Like, he is a no maintenance team first guy, and he can play anywhere in your lineup. He can play on your third line. He can go fill in some minutes up top too. So I think those guys are going to fit in well. I think their biggest challenge, if I can give you one challenge real quick for them, is going to be the pace that team plays at. I think there will be an adjustment to, oh man, this is moving fast out here. This puck moves a lot faster than it was in Anaheim. These guys are moving a little bit quicker. It's just a higher grade of play. And I think once they get their head and their bodies wrapped around that, I think good things are going to happen for them.
Dallas, we appreciate the time, man. Your phone connection is absolutely terrific from Germany.
Thank you so much.
It worked out really well. Best of luck in your game against Cologne, and we'll have to chat again.
Anytime, man. Have a good one.
There you go. That's Dallas Eakins, now coaching over in Germany. I thought he laid it out really nicely. First, great chat. Thanks to Dallas.
People are nominating him for the beauty list in the nasty chat.
Yeah.
People are mad at Taylor Hall for spraying him with the water bottle. Like, how the times have changed all of a sudden.
One chat with us, and people are like, you know what? I'm glad they traded Taylor Hall.
He got done dirty.
How do you squirt this man?
Done dirty.
How do you squirt this man? No, I thought he laid it out nicely. Obviously, I mean, what we look at is, some takeaways from there. First of all, he gets the eyes thing, which is great. We're going to have to play the eyes.
He also has a wife.
He dropped my wife. I told my wife, that if he did that on purpose, I'm automatically waiving the weight. He's going on the beauty list. But then as far as the players go, what he said, first of all, they're high quality guys, which I think is important with this group. He loves Carrick, obviously. And then he said you can basically put Henrique in any situation.
Henrique, you're doing Gene's job tonight. Okay.
You want to play him on the right side, you want to play him on the left side, you want to play him in the middle, you want to take a face-off, bumper on the power play, penalty kill, whatever. He crosses off all. But I did like how he also did point out that the one area of concern he may have is the speed of the game that the Edmonton Oilers play with. Like, let's watch that. Let's watch for that, Al. And I don't know, I wasn't focused on that watching them last night because, they're new guys. You want to see them. And, bottom line players for the Oilers don't get to play that much because the top end guys play so much. So we didn't really see too much of Carrick. Had the scrap. But let's watch that this weekend with these two games back to back. How do Henrique and Carrick do from a pace perspective with the quick moving, fast skating Edmonton Oilers?
And they'll find their place, right? It's understanding that speed, knowing how the speed works, and then finding your place within that speed.
Eventually. And I mean, if the speed is different, you've put them on a line where they've got some speedsters.
Exactly.
Like you can move these guys around as well. Surveyor Brett is in and says, I'm going to skip my Friday donut in honor of Dallas Eakins.
You know what? Eat a vegetable today for Dallas.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that.
Eat a broccoli head.
I'm going to do that today.
Yeah, just eat a cauliflower like an apple.
This one's in for Big Eakins. Says, did I like Eakins as a coach? Not at all. I quite enjoy his analysis, though, and his interviews. Well job, guys.
He's a good speaker.
Yeah, I mean, you knew that right away. Like, when he was the coach of the team, you're like, this dude's a highly intelligent, well-spoken man. Like,
that's why he's not the NHL anymore. Give me the mitt.
Oh, man.
Give me the mitt.
Here you go, sir. I do. You know what? We should maybe put that in place when there is a take that is so hot midweek that the person has the option. Now, I'm not doing it now because
this is an example.
But if there's like one that like just kills us, we just go automatic.
If you're the mid holder, you'd have to make that judgment.
We've never done that.
Yeah.
We've never done it. Where do we come out on that? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Lance Kane is in and says, I may never buy a donut again.
Sales just plummeted Edmonton, like just down.
I like the idea of Lance in about 20 years telling his grandkids, did you know that Grandpa hasn't had a donut in 20 years? Well, why is that? Why is that, Papa? Well, the boys there, they had Dallas Eakins on it. It's such a good interview. I stopped eating donuts forever.
Teetering on the brink of diabetes in this interview.
This is the
pulls you away from You wouldn't be here today, kid, if it wasn't for Dallas Eakins in Germany.
That's a classic. I like that one. Your reaction to all of it, 780-218-9999. Our Hockey Insiders every day, and of course, Dallas Eakins today, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. They got that nude signing available right now. Hop online, www.proamsports.ca. That is where you can slide on in and find more information on that one.
Yeah, the doc loves it. Like Money in the Bank briefcase challenge, on the spot for the mitt when the moment strikes. It's that type of attitude and emotion. Like, I think the hardcore belt was like that too.
It takes us as grown men to be like, yes, that's valid.
Yeah.
You still get the win. Like, you still have the win.
It'll go down in the record, but yeah.
The mitt has been transferred because the take is so good. Because the take is so good. Good chat with Dallas Eakins. Seems like a good sport. I love it.
Let's
do it. Let's see what happens.
You know what? I saw it in his eyes. It's fun to watch his eyes. And, he narrowed his eyes. He's been a horse. His eyes narrow. I saw it in his eyes. He loves his eyes. Eyes going in the net. Horse eyes. People were highly critical of his eyes. His eyes narrow. Eyes. Eyes. Eyes.
Amazing. Amazing. That is the first. That's the only way to do it. Brought to you by Sport Ball. Sign your kids up for Sport Ball today. Get your kids active, especially in the summer. They got their summer programs up right now. You can visit them at sportball.ca to find out more information on the summer programs at Sport Ball. Let's get initial reaction from YouTube, Trev, on hearing the Dallas Eakins Eyes remix for the first time.
First time, Trev.
Yeah, okay, so what's the whole deal? So did he just say eyes a lot?
He would reference
Like,
players' eyes quite a bit.
Yeah, because he's like, I saw it in the eyes, right?
There was one morning post-game, Nuge. He was talking about Nuge.
Yeah. He's a horse and the eyes.
And he mentioned eyes like 50 times in this video. And he was talking about Nuge. And then he mentioned a horse and Nuge with the horse.
And it just worked out so
well. It was
well.
one of the best post-games that we've had.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
But we had not played that yet on Edmonton Sports Talk because we're like, well, let's see. Like, I mean, who knows? We may get hit with the claim today or whatever. But if that's the case, we'll just cut it out. But we had to do it. Like, Dallas Eakins comes on the show today. Before we talk about anything, Eakins goes, I'm here for the eyes references.
He brought it up.
The donuts, and he brought it up.
We talked off air, like, hey,
it.
should we maybe play the song? And you're like, well, maybe after. Like, we don't want to.
Yeah.
Again, he's a guest.
Yeah.
You don't want to make him
exactly.
uneasy.
You make him feel uncomfortable.
But he was the one that suggested.
But him dropping that on us is just like, okay, we're doing it. Like,
it's for a permission
we'll just
slip.
see how it goes. Like,
yeah, that's so cool that he knew. He
very
was aware
eyes.
of the eyes.
I'm very happy we saved it until we had him on.
Now, if you can find the These Eyes remix for Rip City Step, then we'd have a day.
I don't think I have the These Eyes remix. He
Did
always
it,
thought
did
that
it,
was that was These Eyes. I don't know if that one came over. You know, I'll take.
It's got to be in there.
I mean, it would be in the file of like 6,000.
Sure.
I don't know if I have.
It's always
it in
tough
my,
to find. Yeah.
What was that one called? These Eyes.
If you type in These Eyes in a search,
nothing.
Damn.
Nothing for me on that one. That's okay. We never played it at the old place anyway.
I only played it when you were gone.
Did you play
that
when I was
the
gone?
Time
You little weasel. Look at these confessions that are now rolling out there as well, right? All right, hey, if you're watching on YouTube, hammer a thumbs up for us. Tell us your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. You think trade deadline coverage is good. Wait till this team goes on their Stanley Cup run. We are going to have a lot of fun here at EST today.
Some would say we'd be partying all the time during this run. Hey?
Let's not get carried away.
I saw a few gifs of that yesterday. I mean, it's the deadline. It's Kenny's legacy.
What do you think if we banged out a party all the time parody?
Yeah,
but it's just I just have them like make the same song and then we just cut back in over top of it.
It's totally under the cover. I love it.
I think that's
crafty.
Because we were so what were we like 3/4 of the way into the remix of that,
and it was banging. It was the hit of the summer, and then midsummer, it's like
I know. Then we got
needle off the vinyl.
That sucked.
Yeah, that was man. What could have been?
This text in from T-Mac, the rugby guy. I'm calling in sick for work today. I'm just going to walk around, chop wood, and carry water.
Yeah.
I like that one, too.
Eat a Brussels sprout.
Yeah, I like that one. I still haven't eaten a Brussels sprout, and even though Dallas was great today, I'm still not going to. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing the Brussels sprout thing.
Let me make them for you. You'll be in dreamland, baby.
What is it? Looks like some sort of...
You slice it in half, cover them in oil, a little bit of pepper,
It looks
salt.
like a head of lettuce that wasn't allowed to grow up.
A mini head of lettuce, yeah. It's very delicious.
All right, your text message is 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And, it would be interesting to see just quickly on the Dallas Eakins front. Heads over to Germany for a bit, takes in that experience, and I would think probably resurfaces with some role in North America if he wants to. I think some people go over to Europe, and you can see it. Like, if you go there, like, you can get sucked in. If you're happy... and things are going well.
I think Dallas is the type of guy that kind of, shall we say, fits with his lifestyle choices and everything. I mean, and again, a well-spoken guy. Doesn't need to be behind a bench necessarily. I mean, teams looking for help in certain areas, nutrition, just bring him into the room, have him talk to your guys for 10 minutes prior to a game. I don't know. He's just a 5-tool guy off the ice, shall we say.
I like that.
I still remember using him, though, in NHL, whatever it was, and dropping the mitts with him a couple of times. Getting to a few spars on, what was it, NHL 06 or 05? I don't know what year.
Was he with Winnipeg?
He was a Leaf.
Oh, he's a Leaf then.
He was a Leaf, but I got him on my, I think I was the Coyotes or something.
Lance is in and says, I still blame last year's loss on Vegas, to Vegas on the lame playoff song. Hopefully this year's is going to be a banger. Well, we had the playoff song, but then the Eddie Murphy song basically kind of became the playoff song.
Party all the time.
Yeah.
And it was his summer. It was the summer of, and then we were adding on to the song as the summer went. And
yeah.
It was a big thing leading up to the season, and party all the time.
All right, let's get into your Coolbet hotline of the day. The Oilers' major buzzkill. Major buzzkill.
Can't win them all, right?
On the Coolbet hotline of the day yesterday. Had the Oilers minus the 1.5.
Take the hit.
Didn't go over very well. Stay cool, bet responsibly. I will also say I also live bet them when they were down 3-0. That backfired too. So it's not like I'm not suffering with many of you. I thought when they were down 3-0 it was good value. I got it like plus 310 or 320 or something. I was like, yeah, you know what? It's Columbus.
Well, look,
there's 40 minutes left. The Oilers probably have some good periods coming here at somewhere.
There's never really a point in time when you're worried until the game ends. I mean, they're not a team that plays the full 60, and during this season, they have been a team that comes back. So against a team such as Columbus, you'd think, oh, yeah, I think as I tweeted out, they got them right where they want them. But
right where they want them.
Just a little short.
What do we got at the Briar today? 4 games in the NHL tonight. Red Wings, Coyotes, Wild, Colorado, Dallas, Anaheim, Winnipeg, and the Kraken.
Yeah, more drama at the Briar yesterday. Heartbreak for PEI yesterday afternoon as the Cooey, not Alberta rink, but Northwest Territories rink, getting through into the Page playoff system today.
Amazing.
PEI needed a draw for 1, coming up short. Northwest Territories steals. That's a hellacious way to end a tournament. When you have to just draw to get in there, to advance, and you don't, and you're out. But play-ins today, Manitoba Carruthers taking on Canada. That's going this afternoon. Saskatchewan up against the Brendan Botcher rink. That also this afternoon. The losers of both of those games will play tonight. The loser of Manitoba, Canada will play Northwest Territories. Loser of Botcher v. Saskatchewan will play Manitoba's Dunstone rink. So this is, the fat's been cut off. These are the best of the best now throughout the tournament. I don't know where you want to go on all this. I
want to go Botcher.
Team Botcher?
Botcher
yeah, okay.
minus 122.
Straight up. I'm all for McEwen Team Saskatchewan, So
we're going head-to-head.
We are.
Deadline day rumble.
You don't make friends on the Pebble.
Over the Briar. All right. I'm going to make the Coolbet hotline of the day. Botcher minus 122, but you're going to contest it.
Although Gushu had a tough start, and he's been turning it on to kind of get into the spot.
But hasn't Carruthers been pretty steady the whole way?
Carruthers started good, and then he kind of,
you think we should just unite and go Canada minus 161? Not enough value. What about Canada by 2?
Plus could be something there. Just the way those 2 rinks are going, I can see Canada maybe pulling off some sort of an upset. I don't bet. And I guess maybe this is just a lean.
Let's stick with Botcher. Let's stick with the Alberta boy. Botcher minus 122 to advance at the Briar today. That'll be your Coolbet hotline of the day. Let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda when we come back. More of your text messages. It is deadline day. It has started exactly like we expected. Slow. Deadline days always start slow. And then they pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
But a lot of the good work has already been done.
No moves yet. Just one. It's official.
Nothing yet this morning. Gensel moved late last night. We'll get back around to the entire thing. Our question for you here this morning is obviously the Oilers, they appear to be done. Are you okay with what they've done here prior to the deadline, barring some sort of surprise trade between now and the deadline? Are you okay with? And I'm going to still say that you never know. Like I know it's like, well, they're probably done, but you can't say they're 100% done.
Well, what is your quote from earlier this morning?
You'll say it. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
And you're going to be seeing, I'm listening. Trev will be sniffing out deals. I mean, we got all the senses here. We got
all the senses here for you. And we still don't look as cool as DVD on the picture, which we're going to discuss when we come back on the video at least. If you are listening online, you can listen on TuneIn, you can listen on iHeart. And from what we learned today is that you can just go to your phone, pick it up and say, "Hey Siri, play Edmonton Sports Talk." And it'll just play it for you right on Apple Music, which is awesome
pastor vibes, hey? Like,
yeah.
It's kind of...
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda. More of your reaction. Is this it? And if it is it, how do you view the deadline? Adam Henrique. Could be a top 6 guy, could be a third-line center. Carrick's going to center your fourth line. He's going to fight some people along the way. And Stetcher, I think, factors in if they give him an opportunity. So what say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We'll take a look at yesterday's action around the National Hockey League as far as the trade deadline goes as well. But right now, an update with LT.
Blue Jackets 4, Oilers 2 last night in Game 2 of a 4-game road trip. Oilers win streak snapped at 5 games. Zach Hyman, though, with his 43rd of the season, while Corey Perry notched his 9th in the loss. The trip continues tomorrow morning with a stop in Buffalo. You can wake up with Tom Gensel and YouTube Trev. They'll have your Oil Stream pregame show starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning here on Edmonton Sports Talk, the iHeart Radio app, TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. Action from last night saw LA over Ottawa 4-3 in overtime. Vancouver over Vegas 3-1. Flames double up the Lightning 6-3 in the Preds. They have points now in 10 straight following a 4-2 win over those Buffalo Sabres. NHL Trade Deadline, of course, falling at 1 o'clock Mountain this afternoon. 4 games around the league later tonight. Keep it locked on Edmonton Sports Talk throughout the day. We'll have extended coverage up to and following today's hard 1 o'clock deadline. Trade last night saw the Hurricanes acquiring Jake Gensel and Ty Smith from the Penguins for Michael Bunting, a handful of prospects, and picks. Celtics have now dropped 2 straight following a 115-109 loss to Denver last night. 8 games around the NBA this evening, including the Lakers at home to the Bucks. Oil Kings 4-game road trip will continue tonight with a stop in Prince Albert. The club will visit Saskatoon tomorrow night before rounding up the trip Sunday evening down in Lethbridge. AJHL Best of 5 play-in series got underway last night. It was Drayton Valley 5-4 over Camrose, Canmore shutting out Fort Mac 5-zip, and Grand Prairie over Olds 4-0. All Game 2s will go later tonight. And qualifying day down at the Briar in Regina, Brendan Botcher will take on Saskatchewan this afternoon. The loser will go on to face Northwest Territories tonight, while the Reed Carruthers Manitoba rink will take on Brad Gushu and Team Canada. Loser of that one will take on the Dunstone-led Manitoba rink as well later this evening. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where Mitch Lewicki says there might be more trades today, and there also may not be.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Step closer to the hollow, the devil may care. If I showed you around my heart, would you mind if I shared to show you what's wrong with me? I will not change it. I will wait patiently while you get painted out. Let me into your untainted tribe to be the one who gets to live a lie. Oh, let me lie with you. I'll be a perfect stranger. I wanna be that stupid boy that you don't talk about. You better believe there's a sharp knife beside my bed. You better believe there's a sharp knife inside my head. And if you would leave, I would take you by the hand. You and I would leave, but it wouldn't be that bad.
Whale and the Wolf. You'll hear them between shows here at Edmonton Sports Talk as well. We like to call them the EST House Band. I've got Trade Center. Nothing's happening, but I've got it on the iPad here set up to me, which I did confess earlier. I brought my iPad in to actually watch F1 qualifying.
And
today,
we are
but I was like,
confessing.
you know what? We'll watch Trade Center here. I see them, like the Oilers are still a cup contender. Even after the trades that some people are disappointed with, they're still among the top 2, 3, 4 teams in the mix to win the Stanley Cup this season. So you've got that going for you. As we continue to work our way through the show this morning, just know if you're listening on TuneIn or on iHeart or watching on YouTube, starting on Monday, we're giving you a chance to qualify for a trip to Vegas. You will win nonstop flight for 2 from Fly YEG straight down to Vegas. 3 nights accommodations, tickets to a Cirque show, qualify 4 times a day, every single show here from 6 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. Qualify on every single one of them, every single day as we work our way towards giving away that grand prize at the end of April. So be ready for the EST Flyway coming up. Bruce Boudreau. I'm just seeing his cup favorites. He actually does not have the Oilers in the top 5.
Is he swearing with the?
He's got the pan. Oh, they know
they're all up ready to go.
Before deadline.
Man, it's funny. This is our first deadline outside of the old place. In the old place, we had like TVs, I had TV, you had TV. We were kind of had that on while it was going, but I can't.
Look, our show and what we're doing here is kind of the show of the people.
That's true
because we can get to your interaction. It's like these guys have to do 7 hours of coverage with like no interaction with listeners. We actually have a chance to put your voice out there via text message or in the nasty chat today. So your thoughts on all of it to 780-218-9999.
Very educated thoughts as well, as Tom Dixon's mustache points out. Boys, after that Eakins interview, you have to put a pin on Mannheim.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
we were chatting with him,
listening to us talk to him. I think that's where we go.
Van Diest is going to join us coming up here in about 7-8 minutes. We'll get DVD thoughts. This picture that we have of DVD is deep thinking. This is a deep thinking pic of Derek Van Diest. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it up. It's our teaser for him. If you are listening on iHeart or anywhere, he's kind of sitting there. He's got his hand on his chin, real deep thing. He's got the arm up.
Wednesday night
great.
Improv group practice or something down at the theater.
If you're watching on YouTube, what does DVD look like he does for a living by sitting in it's good.
Well, Juan says, "Morning, boys. What year's DVD's Sunshine Boy pick from?"
It looks so good, doesn't it?
Very good. It's good.
I mean, if I'm DVD, I'm like, thanks, boys. Thanks for choosing that one.
Hell of a pick.
That looks real nice.
Professional job.
Good job, YouTube Trev. Good job, YouTube Trev.
Yeah, that's solid. Every time I see him now, I'm going to do the pose.
Yeah,
What's up, DVD?
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's get to, that's good. You want to go grab those Zaws?
Yeah,
not the slices, but just bring the pre-packed ones ready to go. That's good. It's for the Italian Center Shop. If you haven't checked it out, I mean, I'm hoping you crushed a panino for the first couple of weeks here of our partnership with Italian Center Shop, and hopefully you've picked up this pizza. You can go on in, you can get it hot and ready, or you can just pick it up and bring it home and pop it into the oven. The Italian Center's Cafe is known for its pizza, and now you can pick up your favorite pies to take and bake. The old take and bake at home. It's their house-made dough, hand-stretched, loaded up with toppings, ready to pop in your own oven. In about 10 minutes, you'll have a hot, fresh, authentic Italian pizza that you've taken home. We're going to load up on some fresh stuff for the shows next week from Italian Center Shop as well.
Have you ever seen more pepperoni in your life on a pie? There's no place else to put pepperoni. It's covered in pepperoni.
There's something about these little pepperonis too, man. They just hit.
Well, when they cook up too, they
fold up just a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'll say I don't know if there's anything to it. If it's Italian Center Shop, just a bunch of magicians or something. But little pepperonis taste better than big pepperonis. There's just something about it.
You keep them in.
There's something about it. Somebody here at the office is taking these bad boys home tonight. I don't know, maybe do a rock, paper, scissors competition or something. Ooh, a raffle.
Maybe a silent auction.
Going around.
During the trade deadline day.
Silent auction for 2 Italian Center Shop pizzas. That's a good idea.
Write your name on the page.
That's a good idea.
$200 starting bid.
Hey, can you believe I'm going to fake Zach Dickens' name on there, and then he's going to get super nervous. He's like, I can't afford this.
You owe us $1,000 for these 2 pies, everybody.
Zach, is this not your name? That's not my name. You spelled it with a K. It's like, oh, damn. Sorry, Zach. Anyway, that's good today. I want to go to Carrick. I want to go to Carrick from That's Good.
I didn't have him as one of the 2 people that would make an impact. Like, you know what I mean? Henrique's kind of the guy in that deal. Yeah. But for him dropping the gloves last night and answering the bell.
Slides in on 4th line. What's he do? he sees something's coming, slides on over. It's like, you know, you want to fight somebody? You fight me. I always like that line from Con Air. Remember when his buddy is like barely alive because he didn't have his insulin and he's crawling and Johnny 23 is about to take advantage of the guard and he's like, you want to fight somebody? Fight me. And you couldn't even stand up, man. Calm down. But Carrick, I liked him stepping in, dropping the mitts. As Dallas Eakins told us this morning when we had him on, that if he was a betting man, he would have put everything he had on Carrick finding a dance partner against the Columbus Blue Jackets in his first game. So, Sam Carrick, that's good. Dropping the mitts in your first game with and I get it. I know fighting doesn't
not going to win you a cup.
Fighting doesn't win you a Stanley Cup. I get it. Save all your hot takes. All right, I already got the mitt. I don't need your hot takes. It doesn't win the Stanley Cup for you, but I like having some grit in the bottom six. And they had guys who, like, remember Matthias Janmark had the fight, but that's not what he does.
Yeah.
That's not what he does. So
this is your heavyweight.
You get acquired, you get dropped into the lineup. There's Olivier on the other side. We saw what he did to Rempe. Like, the dude can fight. Yeah. And
Janmark doesn't take you
go
on Olivier like that. Like that was a spirited. That was a great
it was
tilt.
A good tilt.
Yeah.
It was a good tilt. You're going to win over a lot of people in this city. So all in all, I thought a really, really good move by Carrick to just do what he did. Trev, did you love that?
Oh, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And, like that display of toughness awarded him the Damon Bunting Player of the Game last night. Not that there was a lot to pick from.
There wasn't a lot to pick from last night.
But, I saw the exact same thing. You know, his presence was known right from the get-go, and, the teammates definitely acknowledged that. So it was great. Yeah, absolutely. Against a super tough guy, too. So, props to him. Yeah, making a statement in his first day. I love it.
It also helps a little bit of that if things do get kind of nasty in a playoff series, which they certainly could. We're not all sitting here going, oh, man, why is Evander Kane not fighting that guy?
Yeah.
Why is Darnell Nurse not fighting that guy?
Why did he,
Instead, you're like, oh, they didn't have to fight it because Carrick took care of business.
He's the one that handled
it.
So,
he's probably only going to play 8 to 10 minutes. If they can come out on the positive side of things, that would be great. But, I thought for a new guy settling in with his new team, that's good for Italian Center Shop. Carrick dropping the mitts on his Oilers debut. Coming up in hour number 3 here today. And we should
silent auction.
Silent auction, but no bids. Just whoever's name's at the bottom of the list when I cut it off at a random time wins the pizzas. That's kind of a fun idea. I like that. We'll have to do up the page and print it off, and we'll do that today. And like I said, we got some fresh Zaws coming next week here as well from Italian Center Shop. Hour 3 of the show today, kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many. If anything happens in the trade deadline by 9 o'clock, we'll obviously have it for you here. The quiet morning. The morning is always quiet. You get trades in the days leading up. The morning's quiet, and then there's a rush, and then there's always those ones that are like, it's still being put through in the old fax machine. So we're still, those things probably happen at some point.
I'm an amateur insider, not a weatherman, but as I said earlier, we are in the eye of the hurricane.
Yeah,
this is the eye, and it's all around us, and we're going to get hit again, but
Oilers likely not in that hurricane anymore. Probably taking care of business.
Kind of flying above in that plane.
Yeah, they've moved somewhere better to take a look, and we'll see. They bring in Stetcher yesterday. We'll talk about where he gets in on the blue line, if he gets in on the blue line, what he could possibly bring to the blue line. And he's a different defenseman, I think, than CC and Desharnais. So there's that interesting part of the conversation. Derek Van Diest, who has been in the hangout a bunch of times, he joins us this morning. Let's bring in DVD here today. DVD, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Morning, guys. Good. I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, we're good. Are you on the road or are you at home? Where are you right now?
No, I'm at home.
Oh, you're at home.
I did.
Okay.
I this was home base for me. I kind of keep an eye on 3-4 teams. So,
I was going to say tough to be out east, right? Yeah, tough to be out east.
Yeah, because Calgary's out in Florida. I think Edmonton's out east. I think everyone's on the road. I think Winnipeg's on the road. I think Vancouver's on the road. So they decided to just keep me here as opposed to just being all over the place. So I'm kind of here monitoring things from home.
All right, well, let's just start with the game last night. Like we said, we didn't want to spend a ton of time on it. It's one that they'll probably just push aside. But, I guess a continuing story, DVD, is that they really don't play 60 minutes very often. We saw it again last night, didn't we?
Well, they start late. They always get to the game late. They get their late to the starting line. You're down 3 goals early, and I don't care who you're playing. I don't care what team in the National Hockey League you're playing. If you're giving them a 3-goal head start, it's tough to come back. And Columbus really has not much to play for. They're playing for pride. They got a lot of guys there that, they're playing for their job. So it was always going to be a tough hurdle to climb to get back 3 goals. And maybe this is a good lesson for the Oilers to hey, we got to get going here. We got to get going once the puck drops, not after the first, not wait till the third period. They're a very good third period team. They're obviously a dominant third period team, but you can't wait till the third period to get going. And I think, I get, you brought in a couple of guys, you made a couple of moves, you sent away a couple of guys. So that's going to take some time to kind of get it all settled in. But there's still a lot of hockey to be played here. And I think that's the one thing that if you're concerned about this hockey team, I'm not. Actually, they obviously have the best record in the league since November. So I just think that they have to get off the starting line on time, and they got to figure that out. I don't know what you got to do as a player to get ready to play, whether you got to change your warm-up routine, change your pregame routine, do something. But once the puck drops, you got to start playing, and you can't spot teams 3 goals. And I think that was the situation last night, and I think that was a good lesson for the Oilers last night. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You're not going to be able to come back from 3-goal deficits very often.
And DVD, just one more kind of on the road trip and the current play before we get into the acquisitions. You kind of beat the team in Boston, the one on this trip that maybe you're expected to maybe stumble against. You lose last night against the team that maybe you're expected to win the most against. So what are your expectations, I guess, tomorrow for this team? And we talk about a full 60 starting on time. We all know matinees and even early AM starts on the road out east or something of maybe a stumbling block for this team historically. But what do you expect tomorrow morning down in Buffalo, game 3 of this 4-game trip?
Well, I do expect them to come back and play hard and play well and try and get off the start. Buffalo just traded their best player, so they've mailed it in. This is a franchise. It's really that franchise is kind of stuck in the mud here. They get first overall picks, and they just can't seem to get any traction. Can't get any traction going. And now when they traded Casey Middlestad, that kind of tells you, okay, maybe they're not going for it this year. They're going to kind of try and reload, reset, readjust, whatever you want to call it, and get back to next year. But I think Edmonton's really got to come out, and they got to play well, and they got to get off to a good start. And you got to get off this. Yeah, they don't play well in matinees. They don't play well on the road. They don't play well. You got to just go out there and play your game. And I think this is another team that's very beatable. This is another team that it's a seller at the deadline. They're not buyers at the deadline. So this is another team that you need to get those points. And I think you need to continue that separation, and you need to put pressure on the Canucks. Like the Canucks won last night.
Yeah.
You need to keep putting pressure on them, keeping them in the rearview mirror and saying, hey, here come the Oilers. And you need to distance yourself from the LA Kings. It looks like it's going to be the LA Kings now in the first round of the playoffs. Vegas is struggling. They got some issues. So I think you need to kind of just keep piling on those points, keep that position. But yeah, they need to get off to a better start. And I think they will. And I think the second game is always a little easier for the new guys. New guys coming in first game, they don't know a lot of guys. They don't know their role really. They don't know a lot about the team that they're playing with. So I think they'll be a little bit more settled in the second game. And so I expect them to be a lot better than they were last night.
Derek Van Diest with us from NHL.com, covers the Oilers obviously on a daily basis. So Henrique and Carrick joined the club, play last night. Stetcher's on the way in as well. You know how it is. I mean, yesterday when the Stetcher trade breaks were on here, people are losing their mind that it's not somebody with a higher profile on the back end. But what have you thought, if this is it, and it's likely it, things can still change, I guess, prior to the deadline. But if this is it, what have you thought of this deadline, DVD?
Well, you know what? Ken Holland did what he said he was going to do. And I don't know what people are getting so upset about. I've seen most people are generally like, okay, this is good. He wanted to get a top 6 forward, a guy that's got like 18 goals this year. Like Adam Henrique is a very good player. He was like the number 2 guy behind Jake Gensel as the target for teams. And there's 16 other teams trying to revamp their lineup, trying to bolster their lineup going into the playoffs. So the Oilers aren't alone. So yes, obviously the request for Gensel was a little too much. Carolina was able to match it as best as they could. So they got Henrique. They got a really good guy that can score. He's probably going to finish with 25 goals this year. He's had 18 playing in Anaheim, so he's probably going to finish with 25 goals this year. So you got another 25-goal scorer. Carrick, we saw last night, this guy is all character. He's going to go to war with you. And I think the Oilers need more guys like that, especially in the playoffs. If you're going to go up against LA, if you're going to go up against Vegas, if you're going to go up against some heavier teams, you need a guy like that in your lineup. And right away, he showed what he was made of. Came over, tap jam workout. Said, "Hey, let's switch sides here. I'm going to take on this
Yeah.
fight." And right away, he pulled himself with his team, and his teammates go, "Hey, this guy's a great character guy." And then you also get like some depth on defense. And I think to me, the big thing is they didn't get rid of a roster player. They didn't move Broberg. They didn't move any prospects. They got rid of a bunch of draft picks. Yeah. But now you still have Broberg to call up for the playoffs. You still have a Holloway to call up. You still have some of your young prospects that you're going to come and play for you next year. So to me, I think Ken Holland did an excellent job. And he said what he was going to say. I need this, I need this, I need this. And that's what I'm going to go get. And that's what he got. And I understand. Like they think it's like a video game where you can just go and trade players, and you can bring in Sidney Crosby, you can bring in Jake Gensel. Let's bring in these guys, and then never mind the fact that they don't have any money under the cap. Somehow you got to do a 3-team deal and swing 3-team deals, and hope one team takes a quarter of his salary, hope another team takes a quarter of his salary. Like there's a lot of wheeling and dealing going on here, and it's not like just a video game where you punch in names and then the video game allows you to trade. So. You weren't going to get, I'm sure they swung for Gensel. They tried and they said, yeah, the price is too high for a rental player. So they went and got the second best guy available on the market, which is Adam Henrique, I always said that was a guy that the Oilers were going to target. And to be able to get him, I think is a very big coup for the Oilers. He's going to help you a lot in the playoffs. All three guys are going to help you a lot in the playoffs. I don't know how much Stetcher's going to play as long as the Oilers' 6 defensemen are playing well. But he's a guy that can come in and spell off season. He can come in and spell off there. And he's a guy that can come into your lineup and really kind of help you in that regard. He's going to help you on your bottom pairing. So you have confidence in a veteran like that you can throw in, as opposed to bringing a Broberg up or bringing some young kid up and throwing him into the playoffs. But yeah, no, I think Ken Holland, he said, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what he did. And I think, to me, that it's sometimes not easy to do what you're going to say you're going to do, but I think it was a very good trade deadline for the Edmonton Oilers.
They started Henrique on the wing with Draisaitl, and then when obviously everything went to hell last night, they flipped it up and moved some things around. Where do you think they slot him in? Like where do you think they put him? Where do you think he should be? What do you think he ends up being for this team?
Well, you know what? I think a lot has to do with how Evander Kane plays. Like, I think this is a guy that, okay, if Evander Kane doesn't play well and he's not in your top 6, you can slide this guy up in your top 6, and then he can play all 3 positions. He's a centerman. You can play him down the middle if you need to. He kills penalties for you, so that helps you. I think he bumps Connor Brown out of the lineup. I think Connor Brown's gonna be really hard to get back in the lineup if Henrique and Carrick are playing well. So he can kind of move around the lineup for you. But again, he's a guy that can score. He knows how to score. He's scored 20 goals in the past. He's got 18 goals this year. He's going to be able to kind of move up into your top 6 if you need him. I don't think he's going to play in the middle, but if you need him to take faceoffs, he can. So I think he's going to play. He's a left shot guy that can play on the right wing, and those guys are rare. So you can move him around and play him on the right wing. I think he settles into the top 6 because I do think Evander Kane eventually will become a third line guy. Just the way he's playing right now, I know he always complains about that he's not getting opportunity. They're trying to give him opportunity, but he's not doing much with that. So I think, it'll depend. But I think right now it's a good option to have. This is a guy that you have another guy you can slide into your top 6 and you play on your second line if you wanted to split up Draisaitl and McDavid. So I think this is a guy that's going to be very serviceable for the Edmonton Oilers. I know he's on the wrong side of 30 here. But very serviceable guy that you can come back and re-sign if you need to, if he wants to re-sign. So I think it's a very good trade, but I do see him probably fitting in your top 6 at some point somehow.
DVD, before we let you go, and this is not us, this is not fan speculating. A few of the insiders have said that the Oilers are monitoring the Jordan Eberle situation, and with 75% retained, they could make they could always send a player back the other way too. I mean, if need be.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily, I don't think he's the guy that pushes them over the top, but part of my mindset's like, well, why not? I mean, he's more scoring depth if they need it, but does it make sense to you if that does end up coming to fruition, which highly unlikely, but it is being discussed?
It is. You know what? Everyone wants him to come back, right? But let's remember, Eberle got chased out of here because he had a bad playoff. Remember, he didn't show up in the playoffs.
Did you see the tweet? There was a tweet going around yesterday that said, Eberle didn't score in the playoffs, was traded for Strome, who was traded for Spooner, who was turned into Sam Gagner. Sam Gagner's been sent down. They're trying to acquire Eberle to help with scoring in the playoffs.
But then he comes back and just lights it up.
What a circle, That's crazy.
No, it's ridiculous. He had one bad playoff. He hadn't been in the playoffs for 10 years. He had one bad playoff, and it's like, this guy's out of here. He's gone. But you know, if you get Eberle, you're going to get a more mature player. You're going to get a more seasoned player. You're going to get a guy that's been in the playoffs. But they only have $200,000 left under the cap, so you're going to have to move someone out. So who do you move out? Who do you convince them to take in your trade? And you know, I think that's the issue right there. You don't want to trade a roster player because you think you have. And how many times did Ken Holland mention chemistry last night in his press conference? It was all about chemistry. I don't want to disrupt the chemistry. I don't want to mess up the chemistry. We have good chemistry here. We're the best team in the league. We have the great chemistry. And so he kept dropping that word. And we've seen it in the past where GMs come in here, they got a great team, they got a number one team in the league, and then they drop in 4 players, and then it all goes to hell, right? So I think Ken Holland is aware of that. He doesn't want to do that. You know, I don't see Eberle coming here. I know a lot of fans would like to see Eberle come back. There's something about Oilers that leave and come back. There's some romance thing about that. I don't think he's coming back, and I think they're going to have to really wheel and deal, and they're going to have to take 75% of that salary. So that means you're going to have to, bring in a third team to hopefully take 25%. Hope another team retains 50. I just don't see it right now. I don't see that happening. And I honestly think Ken Holland got on the plane last night. He was supposed to stay in Columbus to work the trade deadline. He got on the plane. He went to Buffalo because you know what? He said, I'm done.
Job's done.
That's why I think job's done. That's why I think the Oilers are done. They're just going to monitor today. Unless something falls on their lap, they are done. They're happy with what they have. They have some room where they can call up guys from the minors. They can call up Broberg. They can call up Holloway if they need to. But to me, Ken Holland, I'm pretty sure he had his feet up on the plane and he had his arms back like this. He's like, job done for me. I'm done. It's over.
Just like when Luke Skywalker kissed his sister in Star Wars. That's the same thing.
Tongue in cheek, right?
Yeah, that's great. What do you have, Rick?
Exactly, yeah.
DVD, one person from the Nasty Chat wants to know the real important question of the day. Can you confirm if you will be reffing my men's league soccer match later tonight?
No, I concur. I'm not. I don't ref until the 22nd. So what day is it today? The 8th? So I took this week off because of trade deadline. I got some time. So I am not well, you know what? I could get called in. Sometimes you do get called in. I probably, after the deadline, they might say, hey, you might need to ref.
You're always listening. You're always listening, right?
Are you a hard ass? Are you a hard ass, DVD? Are you a hard ass as an official?
No, I'm not, because I ref the way I wanted to be ref when I was a player.
Yeah.
So the refs that I hated are the guys that don't talk to me, don't ask me a question. I made the call. That's my final call. Leave me alone. I hated those guys. So I'm not one of those guys. If a player has a question, come and ask me. I'll tell you what I saw. And 99% of the time, they're like, okay, I understand that, and walk away. That's what I was as a player. If I had a call, I asked the ref told me, okay, walk away. What I don't have any tolerance for is coaches yelling for me up from the bench, or the sideline. So those guys, we can play the game without coaches, So I tell coaches that a lot. We can play the game with you sitting in the parking lot. So I'm not afraid to tell you to leave. So which is so I've thrown my share of coaches out. But yeah, players, I have tolerance for players because I know what it's like. You're in the fight, you're in the heat of the battle, and you don't take anything personally when they're yelling at you. It's not personal. It's just the heat of the battle. So yeah, no, I ref like I would like to be ref when I was a player.
DVD, thanks for hopping on this morning, man. Great stuff. Keep up the good work at NHL.com.
Thanks for your time. Yeah.
That sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. That's Derek Van Diest, former junior football quarterback.
That's how
I want DVD to be introduced from now on around.
I want to watch him ref too because I know that he's got he would be.
I could see it. Did you just call him Derek?
Derek.
That's so weird to me.
I know. Well, I
almost referred to him as Derek once too, and I was like,
official. It's
I don't think I've called DVD Derek. And I've known him for 14 years. Like, he's just always DVD. Not even in person. It's like, oh, hello, Derek. Never, ever. All right,
Mr. Referee.
Good stuff there. I mean, as DVD said, it's very likely that the Oilers are done. You're all over the insider news. Hey, I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
as expected, quiet deadline. I don't
yet.
What always happened when we were at the old place at 1260 is I would do an extended 2 hours. I'd go to 11 because we do the show.
Yeah, we get food flown in.
Yeah, I'd usually go to about noon because JMO would come in. Then I'd slide into that analyst chair, which I just absolutely love.
The catbird
I love
seat.
being in the catbird seat and answering questions as opposed to having to host and ask the questions. But then I'd always walk out of there around noon, and I'd get out to the vehicle and I'd get in and I'd turn on 1260, and it'd be Marian Gaborik traded. And I was like, damn it. I just did 6 hours and there was nothing. I get in the car and he's traded. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. All right. Well, we'll get to the Jordan Eberle conversation. We got a few more things coming up here in hour number 3. I'll just throw this out there now.
I do, and quickly, when DVD said, Ken Holland with his feet up, I don't think that rubbed, you got to be, especially in Ken Holland's position where the team is at, to just call it a day. I mean, they're probably going to be done, right? But the whole, I don't like hearing that.
I don't think Ken Holland this morning wakes up, gets his phone and turns it off.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I know that kind of tone rubs people maybe the wrong way.
He wakes up tomorrow, turns his phone back on, and there's a message from Dubas that says, "Hey man, what about Sidney Crosby for Fogle and CC and a first?" And he's like, "Oh damn, what have I done?"
20 missed calls from Nashville.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Calls him back. He goes, "Hey man, sorry, we weren't going to be on Carrier anyway. It was about Yossi." What? Yeah. Unbelievable. That would be tough. That'd be a tough pill to swallow. So yeah, the phone is on.
Yeah.
You know what? You should tweet out. Ken Holland's phone is on.
Well, and DVDs as well for officiating.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
He's always.
Let's get DVD and officiating gig here after the deadline tonight. Right? Needs to relax a little bit. I will throw it out there though. I mean, I don't know what the price would be, but would you want Jordan Eberle back? You throw him into the top 6. It gives you another option. Then, to me, I would say this: if the price is right. If the price is right, bring Jordan Eberle
It all
back.
dependent on the price. It's price and romanticism at this point. That's the whole thing.
I don't think he necessarily moves the needle, but is the team even slightly better with Jordan Eberle than without Jordan Eberle? Yeah, he probably would be. That way, if you were to go to a situation where you're like, okay, Adam Henrique's the third line center, and you're going to put Evander Kane with him on the third line, then you're like, oh, but yeah, you can play Jordan Eberle with Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, he's the filler for your flexibility there, in a sense.
I don't think it's a huge needle mover, but I also don't know why not.
But if it doesn't happen, nobody's losing any Z's over it.
In the end, though, if they don't win the Stanley Cup, it's still going to be because of their blue line. So it doesn't. It's such a fun conversation to have, but in the end, you're rolling your right side.
What year is that quote
with
from?
2 of CC Stetcher and Desharnais. So it'd be kind of. It's like this romantic. It's romantic.
It's all romanticism. If his name is Edward Anderson, it's the same hype going around here.
Screw Edward Anderson. RCN is in and says, does Eberle really disrupt the chemistry? He's already played with 97, 29, and 93. Right? A while
years ago,
but
though.
still. And
they've all grown up now. They're men.
Once again, this is not fan rumors. This is not us rumors. That was, I think, a couple of the insiders last night basically had said they're still monitoring the Eberle situation. So is he, Lieutenant Eric. If you'd like to play kind of easy trivia this morning, we've got a gift certificate, Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. If you want to play, all you have to do is fire us a text. That's it, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you would like to play kind of easy trivia this morning, come get that gift certificate. We will hook you up with that one. 3 questions too many. I says pardon. Sobeys is Safe with Liquor Beer of the Week. More of your thoughts on Jordan Eberle as a late deadline possible target if for some reason he does end up getting moved. Not even on the trade bait board today, though. 35 names on that TSN trade bait board. Not one mention of Jordan Eberle. It's almost like I feel like they got the list done and then they put it up and they're like, oh, man, totally forgot.
I do have a...
This is a sec.
Yeah. This coming from at Jacob Billing 10. He's got just over 1,000 followers. His Twitter profile says, born and raised in Nova Scotia, covering the Senators at THW Senators. He tweets out at 8:42 last night that the Kings are shopping Pierre-Luc Dubois. Boston has kicked tires. Kings asking about Ullmark and Swayman. Ullmark/Swayman. Not both.
Oh, looking for the goalie.
They wouldn't want both in return for PLD, but...
All right, well... That's your morning deadline.
8:42 last night.
All right, if you want to play kind of easy trivia, 780-218-9999. If you are listening on TuneIn or on the iHeartRadio app, tell your friends how easy it is. Apparently, if you have an iPhone, you just pick it up now and say, hey Siri, play Edmonton Sports Talk. And it just start playing it on Apple Music, which is which is pretty cool. That's a lot of fun, too. All right, let's get to a sports update. If you're looking for work, man, Claiborne Services, they got you covered. Visit them, claiborneservices.com. They are hiring journeyman and apprentice bricklayers. Super safe place to work. Make a ton of money really quick with Claiborne. Eric's got more on that. If you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia, 780-218-9999.
An eerie quiet this morning following the Oilers' 4-2 loss to the Blue Jackets last night. Edmonton's win streak snapped at 5. Zach Hyman recording his 43rd of the season in the loss. The 4-game road trip continues tomorrow morning in Buffalo. You can wake up with Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev. They'll have your Oil Stream pregame show starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning here on Edmonton Sports Talk, the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. Of course, the trade deadline falling at 1 o'clock Mountain this afternoon. 4 games around the league later tonight. Raptors falling on the road to the Suns last night, 120-113. 8 games around the NBA this evening, including the Lakers at home to the Bucks. The Oil Kings 4-game road trip makes a stop tonight in Prince Albert. The club will visit the Blades tomorrow night and round out the trip Sunday evening down in Lethbridge. AJHL Best of 5 play-in series got underway last night with 3 games. Grand Prairie shutting out Olds 4-zip. Canmore over Fort McMurray 5-0. And Drayton Valley getting past Camrose 5-4. All game 2s will go later tonight. Qualifying day down at the Briar in Regina. This afternoon we'll have a couple of games. Brendan Botcher takes on Saskatchewan. The loser of that game will face Northwest Territories tonight. The other afternoon affair will see Reed Crothers Manitoba rink up against Brad Gushu and Team Canada. Loser of that game will face the Dunstone-led Manitoba rink also later this evening. Sports update brought to you by Claiborne Services. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. You can take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind knowing they are an industry leader in safety. For more, you can visit www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy. Give Jeff a call, 780-910-6728.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Doom, 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 doom. It's deadline day. Doom, 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 doom. It's deadline day. Actually, how about this? You got some news? Give you some. Still going. It's deadline day. Let's get to this one right here. Watch this. Oh, what was that? What is playing there? Did you hear that? Oh, hey, 6 o'clock is check. Yeah, the 6 o'clock check it. I automatically got going.
Do you have the
Bruins and Parker?
Bruins news?
Yeah, there's a big. This is big news right here. Where's the teeth when you need them? Here we go. We got something. You want to break it, Insider?
You had it. As per Dustin Nielsen.
As it's Dregs. Dregs, Bruins, and Parker Weatherspoon have agreed to a 1-year, $800,000 extension. And as they say, we've popped the seal. Cracked the seal.
Are we exiting
now we have
the
to
eye?
Take a bunch of pisses.
We're exiting the eye. I think that's the winds.
The
wind's picking up.
To circle around.
The pressure's dropping or rising. Whatever.
Did they have to get Weatherspoon agreed to on a contract before they could trade one of their goalies for Pierre-Luc Dubois?
The first move.
Interesting. 780-218-9999. We got the hangout coming up today. From 9 to 11, Glue Guy and YouTube Trev will be joining Tommy and Maddie in the Hangout studio from 9 to 11. And then from 11 until around 2-ish, we'll have a deadline edition of the Oil Stream with myself, Joaquin Gage, and Tom Gazzola discussing all things Edmonton Oilers. So make sure you are ready for that one. McDowell then says, whoa, save something for later. Right? The Weatherspoon news. That's usually breaks a little bit later on.
You learned on the show this morning, right?
Yeah.
Put that in the bookmark.
Who's playing kind of easy trivia today, Trev? Who do we got, my man?
Today we have Dennis, and he's looking for the birthday win.
Dennis, looking for the birthday win. No big deal. All right, Dennis, you need to get 3 out of 5 correct. Do you know anything about sports?
I know a little.
He knows a little about sports. Sounds like most people who play kind of easy trivia. Brought to you by Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. They now have the 6 o'clock lager on tap. I'll start the ticker after read the first question, man. Good luck. Here we go. Which team did the Oilers lose to last night? What position does Daniel Tarasov play?
Wing?
Which defenseman did the Oilers acquire yesterday?
Oh, no, I can't remember his name. I'm freaking up.
Pass. True or false? Mike Tyson's going to fight Jake Paul this summer. Oh, my God.
Happy birthday.
Dennis. Worst birthday ever. Oh, Dennis. Dennis.
Well,
man. You're killing me.
Is that 2 in a row?
I mean, I thought there was a goalie they played last night. If
well,
you watch the game.
Look, yeah, but knowing Columbus
The
goaltenders
goalie they played last night.
But the defenseman that the Oilers acquired yesterday. That's the hometown team, man. That's
a tough one.
Mm.
Well,
VR Montenegro more like loser.
Dennis. More like loser. Oh, that's a tough pill to swallow right there. A tough pill for Dennis.
On his birthday, I mean,
he was right.
One to forget.
He knows a little about sports.
Wasn't lying, yeah.
That's tough. What a buzzkill.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we need a pick-me-up. We got to get back on track. If you missed it just after 7 o'clock this morning, what did we have just after 7 o'clock this morning? We had Dallas Eakins on.
Horse.
And when we had Dallas Eakins on, he gave us the eyes. We didn't even have to. He brought it up.
Yeah.
He brought it up. He goes, I'm here for the eyes references. I was like, what? Come on, man.
Eyes.
Let's go. Back on track.
You know what? I saw it in his eyes. Eyes. It's fun to watch his eyes. And, he narrowed his eyes. He's been a horse. His eyes narrow. I saw it in his eyes. He loves his eyes. Eyes. It's going in the net. Horse eyes. People were highly critical of his eyes. His eyes narrow. Eyes. Eyes. Eyes.
Legendary chat with Dallas Eakins this morning about Carrick and about Henrique. And you can scroll back on YouTube. You can wait and listen to the podcast a little bit later on when it comes out. But it was a good chat, and he dropped the eyes reference on us, so we didn't even feel too bad about it. It was great.
Jasmine chimes in. Paris Jewelers Bling Box, 780-218-9999. Here's a pick-me-up. Happy Trade Deadline Day. Did you guys wish your AM Nasty ladies a happy International Women's Day?
Is it International Women's Day as
so
well?
From ours to yours and Jasmine and everyone else. My wife, who usually is listening as well and watching and doing all the rest. And your wife and your
can't do the
daughter.
The buzz.
So
can't do the conch. So why don't you give us one of those? All right.
Nice one, Jess.
Trade deadline day. Slow start as per usual. We'll see it pick up probably around 11 to noonish today. That's when we'll have our special Oil Stream deadline day coverage for you here, as it is expanded from Oil Stream is going to go, instead of just 12 to 1 today, we're going to go from about 11 until close to 2ish. If you're watching on YouTube, please hammer a thumbs up and give us a sub if you've not yet already subbed to the channel. Deadline day is always fun. Home stretch is going to be good. Playoffs are going to be absolutely nuts. Starting on Monday, we are giving away a trip to Vegas for 2 nonstop flights with Fly YEG all the way down to Vegas. 3 nights accommodations, courtesy the Las Vegas Convention Center Authority, and 2 tickets to a Cirque show as well. So
non-stop.
Yeah, non-stop flights. None of this, we're going to send you here, but you got to go here, got to go here, got to go here. And what happens with this trip is you can fly anytime in the next year. You just have to schedule it in the next 2 months. You just have to book the trip in the next 2 months, but you can go at any point in the upcoming year. So how's that for you?
Lots of more flexibility than an Oilers middle six, eh?
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Not today, my man. But yeah, that's going to be starting on Monday. You'll be able to qualify on our show, on the Hangout, on the Lock Shop, and then in the noon show every single day as well. Guys, so how is my 11-year-old daughter answering these questions? There needs to be a weekly mulligan.
Oh, well.
I can't do that. I mean, once you screw up, you screw up. That's
Happy
just how it
International
works.
Women's Day to her as well. But it's, look, we said yesterday, too, that you may, playing along while somebody else is on the line is fine. But once you're on the phone and the lights are bright and he can hear you breathing on the other end, like it gets really real for a second there.
But Dennis on his birthday to blow it?
On his birthday.
That sucks, a big one, man.
And not being able to identify a player the Oilers acquired yesterday prior to the trade deadline. I just...
Pissed off Graham texts into the show today.
Okay. How happy is he?
As per expected. Yeah. Really positive text. Pissed off Graham says, when Leon gives up or is tired, it shows. He plays a lazy game, but he also becomes a hero. Last night showed he was tired and lazy. It happens.
I don't think this is breaking news.
Yeah, this is like who we've learned Leon Draisaitl is. When he's on, he's on. It's great. When he's not on, it does look like, I don't even know if it's him being lazy. I think it's just his body language makes it look like.
Well, you got all those players out there buzzing around and not doing anything as well. Like it goes both ways. So I think you take his laziness at times, or how that's perceived, with his extraordinary play at other times when he is on. It's just how it is. It's how he's built.
You just hope that he's on the entire playoffs.
On more than off.
This text in from DDP. First text he's ever sent into Edmonton Sports Talk. Thanks for being here,
Diamond
man.
Dallas Page. Love it.
Hey, boys, just tuned in. I was driving by an A&W, and I really wanted to know how the breakfast was this morning. The breakfast was delicious this morning.
Breakfast's great. I'll say this. The quantity that you get.
Yeah, I still have a bunch left. I haven't had time to finish eating
We
it.
always complain that things are getting smaller now, chocolate bars, chips, and all that.
Not the A&W breakfast.
I think it's grown since the last time I had it. Like the plate seems bigger. Back in my day, back when I was banging, the plate was only a circle. This is like a nice oval shape.
Big oval shape.
You get
plate.
the cover, the plastic cover, so it's nice and mobile. You get a full plate of eggs. 4 pieces, 2-piece toast cut in half. And then they hit a hash brown, full hash brown under the toast. You get the sausage, the bacon, which was cooked.
Great breakfast today.
Yeah.
We said it yesterday. We were like, I said, I'm going to bring in A&W breakfast plates for the boys, the classic. And when I rolled through the drive-thru the day, I said to Leah, hey, I want to get that classic breakfast, no tomatoes. She goes, okay. I said, I need 4 of them. She goes, I says, pardon? I said, yeah, don't worry. It's going to be okay. Trev had a breakfast. Trev, how was that breakfast today?
I absolutely dummied it. That was so good.
Dummy means it was like you crushed it?
Oh, I crushed it.
Right,
that was just delightful.
I just wish we had more time to enjoy.
I know.
Really dive
we
into
should
that.
start, like, just even off the air, a Friday A&W breakfast tradition where, like, at 5:30, we just sit down and have a nice little breakfast before the show. That'd be nice.
While you're on the phone with the Bear Boys.
Yeah, it was a great breakfast. Great breakfast today. I can get it at A&W. I mean, everybody else, you can get it. I can make a breakfast sandwich. We can be selling breakfast sandwiches out of here.
Yeah.
They're delicious. I get it. I can put a breakfast in a wrap. These guys are putting breakfast on a plate. It's unbelievable. Huge plate. As Eric said, great breakfast. Pick it up at A&W. They're the leader in the full-blown fast food breakfast. Just is. It's the end of story. Fight's over.
Well, I don't call it fast food because it doesn't taste like fast. Like
that breakfast today didn't. That breakfast, like, sit down
and
and
like
pay
a home-cooked
$25
meal.
for that.
Exactly,
somewhere.
yeah.
It was great. All right. Let's get to 3 questions too many. More of your thoughts on Jordan Eberle. Financially, they could do it. I mean, there's lots of ways you can do it. financially, he could still go out if they wanted to. Like, obviously, they like their team, right? Because I see people still being like, well, you could trade Fogle, you could trade Ceci. And I get it. And if they do, I mean, great. But I think they're happy with what they've got. I said earlier today on the show, I think once you see Stetcher in the lineup, I think you'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, this guy's not just insurance. He's another option to play instead of Ceci or Desharnais, which is, I guess, why they settled on Stetcher. Like, he's different than these guys. He moves better than them. And he moves the puck better than both of them. So, and obviously, Desharnais's the tree on the back end. Ceci's like this savvy veteran, if you want to call it that. But I think Stetcher is different than those two guys, and that's probably why they went out and got him. So I'm very interested to see when and if he gets into the lineup, but I think he's going to play at some point. And I'm interested to see the different look. He's a different look than the other two guys. And I want to see how that different look looks alongside Darnell Nurse.
Frozone 112 chimes in the nasty chat with a few messages. Toffoli isn't that good. He follows that up with, Henrique is having a better year than Tarasenko. We should be pumped. So a little positivity to counter pissed off whomever it was. I then had a tweet from @Adam2476236. And he says, I heard Alaska Air is the charter company going to pick him up. And Alaska Air have a departure from Seattle at 3:21 this afternoon. That's scheduled to arrive in Edmonton at around 4:15. So.
Okay, let's say this again. Do we have an Eberle Jet situation?
I tweeted out #Eberle Jet. There is an Alaska Air departing Seattle later today at 3:21. Just keep an eye on. Thank you, Adam 24762.
And nobody ever has tracked Alaskan Air, but here we are. Here we are.
If anybody's taking that
who
flight,
would be the hilarious person that gets off that flight? Like, remember the Ohtani flight and Hergovich came off of it? Who's the person that gets off the Seattle to Edmonton flight today and we're like, damn it, that's not the guy?
Oh, there's something there. Who would it be, hey?
That's I think that's pretty funny. Glue Guy texts in. He's on his way in for the hangout today. He goes, breaking news. Glue Guy has secured 8 bacon and eggers with extra ketchup. Clearly was not listening in the 6 o'clock hour. But listen, that's fine. He's got 2 bags of A&W breakfast rolling in. Like I said,
switching up a bit.
Breakfast sandwiches are delicious. We just happen to have the full plate.
We already had our plate. Now he's adding a Stetcher to the, like, this is a different acquirement.
If you
the sandwich to the plate. Right?
If you think he rolls in here with bacon and eggers and I'm going to say, oh, no, that's okay, I'll pass on a deadline day, you're nuts. Of course I'm going to take that thing down.
Also, as Jay Mill loves to do on Fridays, asks the group if we want a coffee, to which I usually politely decline. This morning I've taken him up on it. YouTube Trev has, and so has Matt Iwanek, who never gets anybody to buy him anything. So this is it's a deadline day to remember. Oh, geez, did I?
How come I'm not in on that?
Oh,
How come I'm not in on that message?
Sorry, Jay.
I mean, I'm not a coffee drinker.
I've said too much.
But
a latte.
This is a tea from A&W today.
You could have a latte today. I'm sure
you'd
be fiery up.
Guess I only get to drink one tea.
I want you in the espressos for the deadline. Oh, boy, that's a...
I don't
think the city's ready for that yet.
That would be nuts. At least then something might happen.
Ethan Bear 2.0, somebody says. Maybe.
For Stetcher.
Climbing off the Alaska Air.
Off of the... Oh, I like that idea.
Just paying the city a visit.
Actually, how about this? It's Adam Larson.
He returns. Gene Principe gets off the jet. That would be a fun surprise, And
yeah, that's a good one too. If you're watching on YouTube, give us the thumbs up and give us a sub to the channel if you haven't already. We have a lot of fun over here, but we give you everything you need to know from the sports side of things as well. And right now, what you need to know is it's a quiet deadline as per usual. Gensel ended up getting moved last night. He did not come out west, so it's okay, I guess, that the Oilers didn't get him. He went to the Carolina Hurricanes, who also got Freddie Anderson back.
But made for Carolina, right? Like, it'd be interesting to see how this fit goes because everybody's
match
been saying
made in heaven. Kyle Dubas, in the end, this guy always wins. He gets his guy. Michael Bunting joins Dubas in Pittsburgh. Ville Koivunen, who plays in Finland, having a nice season. He's 20 years old. Vasily Season. Ponomarev. Cruz Lucius, who leads his college team in scoring, a conditional second. I don't know why it's listed.
Give me
as
that
a
young
first.
gun.
That's a second that could become a first, and then a conditional 2024 fifth-round pick as well. That was the deal that went down late last night. Nothing yet this morning. The insiders were saying that the Oilers are monitoring the Jordan Eberle situation, but seems highly unlikely, but something to keep tabs on as we work our way through the day here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Let's get into 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. We all wish him a safe flight later this afternoon from Seattle. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
My God, it's Mitch Lewicki getting off the plane.
I take it. I wouldn't be disappointed at all. Okay, well, it's not Eberle, but
that's pretty funny.
You get a hell of a dealer.
I like that.
Dealer for life.
All right. Let's get. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You want to have notifications on. The place is humming. I think, as we mentioned, the wind's picking up a bit following that Wotherspoon extension there.
Yeah.
I also tweeted out a bit of the Leafs business thus far. I'm sure there'll be more to come. Hashtag Eberle Jet. I mean, there's more. At YEG Sports Talk, it's the Edmonton Sports Talk Twitter account, at YEG Sports Talk. I do believe the official count right now in our quest to 5,000 is 43. So give that
43 followers away on Twitter from $5,000. Let's go.
Get on it.
Let's go. That'd be nice. Be nice to hit that.
And I'm on Instagram at Lasagna Enthusiast, all one word.
Follow him on Instagram as well.
The weekends are a gas.
I'm on Instagram as well, and I don't even know my handle.
D Nielsen 81.
D Nielsen 81.
I tag you in some things the odd time. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good handle.
When you open that app, you're going to get notifications.
That's my first initial, my last name, and my birth year. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Can I guess your password?
You probably could.
1, 2, 3.
Question number 1. If Ken Holland, we kind of hit this in the 6 o'clock hour, but I know why people would want to circle back around. If Ken Holland did nothing else today, what letter grade does he get for the deadline?
Yeah, and I look, you are the glass half full guy, but I will go with your original grade marking as a B-.
Okay.
And I say this due to the fact, and I think DVD laid it out too, it's not like Kenny lied or led people astray. He went out and acquired what this team needs in terms of, and now you could say, yes, they still require a dedicated top 6, second line right wing. I get all that. And I think there's a case to be made there too. That's why it's not an A- or anything such as this. But
did he not tell Stoff he was going to get 2 forwards and a veteran defenseman, a depth defenseman?
He didn't say who.
That's what he did.
So here we are. And now today, and this is all before deadline day. So now Ken, of course, as we're led to believe, it's probably all done, but the phone is still on, and he's still listening and still monitoring. And if you add a little tinsel to the tree by the end of deadline day today, 1 o'clock this afternoon, why not? But look, they didn't give up any roster players. They didn't mess with any such chemistry or room or taking somebody away from this streaky run that they've been on this season. So I'll go with a B-. Both in understanding that, again, if I'm... And take away returns and take away what you have and what you can offer in cap space and all that. But Henrique isn't a Gensel or a Toffoli or a Buchnevich. And Stetcher isn't and you can fill in a Carrier, whatever you want, right? There were names that were identified in this fan base. Ultimately, those names didn't come to fruition, so I get a little frustration there. But you can't just then say we didn't get those names. No, it's a terrible deadline. B-. They went out, they acquired what they said they'd acquire, although it's maybe not the names that a lot of people thought or wished they were.
I'm just looking at some of the reaction. B-, C+, 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 C. I also say B, D at best. B,
D at best.
Not upgrading CC is a fail, so I guess that would be an F. If Ken is done, it's a C at best. B+, KH+, B+. Doofus P says 6 out of 9 of the 1990 U of A Alberta grading curve. A B, a C grade, need a top 6 D-man, not a 6B defender. I actually am putting it at a B. I think Stetcher can play. I think if you give him a couple of opportunities, you'll see that he's a different defenseman than CC and Desharnais, but maybe they need a different defenseman than CC or Desharnais.
Could be a crafty.
It's not the upgrade that you were looking for, but I think it's close to being a guy on the same level. And if that's the case, then you put the better skater in come playoff time. Or you put the guy who seems to have an urgency to move the puck a little bit more in come playoff time.
And again, trades, look at Lindholm in Vancouver, right? That happens, and they were like, oh, Vancouver's making a move. Well, now they're looking to get rid of the guy already. It's just because you make a deal for an individual does not mean 100% that it's going to be a success. And on the flip side, you bring in a guy that's maybe not more known or there's not a lot of hoopla around the name. Perhaps he finds a spot on this team and really excels and climbs up. So
the only thing they'll miss is when you look at assets they gave up a late first-round pick. Sorry for all the fourth-rounders. Don't care.
Yeah.
So and as you say, I'm always glass half full guy with this team.
Got to be
super positive. I put it at a B. I'm gonna give him a B. This is nobody's saying it's an A. Nobody's even saying it's an A- or B plus.
Well,
so don't get all fired up. But I thought it was did the Edmonton Oilers win trade deadline week? No.
They didn't lose.
Did they lose trade deadline week? No.
And who else in the Pacific around here truly won? As you mentioned to start the show, there hasn't been one of those seismic moves yet out west here.
Hannafin was a good move.
It was a good move,
but Vegas had been struggling
it's
so
not
much.
Putting
they
you
need
over.
something.
It's not like going, oh wow.
No, bringing in Hannafin and Mantha for Vegas does not mean that Vegas is all of a sudden above the Oilers, the Canucks, the Jets, the Stars, and the Avalanche.
Maybe a fully healthy Vegas. But how about this? Your boy Barron, Athletic, rated the Henrique trade as A and B, filled 2 roles in a single trade. There's the flexibility again with.
How about that? You got that going for you. All right, question number 2. Boys, it is deadline day, so which staff member are you trading to acquire someone else in the market?
Well, Brad Anderson has a proposal already in the Nasty Chat. Trade Iwanic to Sonic 102.9. I don't know what the...
Who would we get from Sonic 102.9?
I don't really have to be a third-party broker in there, you'd think. Hey, it's kind of...
I'm trying to look. We don't have a lot of wiggle room.
I'll take my buddy Bryce Kelly, I guess, but he doesn't hold a flame.
We don't have a lot of wiggle room. As
I say we keep Iwanic.
Matty's pretty important around here.
Maybe an extension. The Wotherspoon extension.
Should we announce Matthew Iwanic extension with EST today? How would that be?
League minimum.
Trev, I got some bad news for you, buddy.
Oh gosh!
Look, here's the deal.
What?
No, here's the deal.
A knock on the
What
door.
I do?
You are you're our top prospect. You're our number 1 prospect.
High value.
Well, that's cool.
Sometimes, Trev, let me finish. Sometimes when you're building a contender, you have to sacrifice pieces of the future. Right? Trev, I know you're not going to like this. But I am here to announce today that we have, in fact, traded YouTube Trev to the Got Your Back podcast in exchange for Jason Strudwick.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good work, Trev.
Hit that.
Yeah, I did it for you. No. Right? Shaggy gets a young mind that he can mold in a business world, and we get our hands on Struddy.
A grizzled old vet. Hey,
Right?
to push us over the top.
That's the only trade. I think there's some high value there. Imagine what Rashad would have in 20 years. We got old, skinny, bald Struddy.
Yeah.
And he's got YouTube Trev in his prime.
At 50% retained.
And we'll retain.
Rashad takes...
Well,
We both
we're
retain.
giving up Trev. Shaggy's retaining on Struddy.
Sure.
And it's just, that's how it works.
if I have the same, value as Struddy, that's a compliment.
you're
so
okay
I'll
with
take
it, right?
that.
Like,
I take that. That's
involved
nice.
in the
So
deal,
that's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But I do like it here. So that's...
Zedmo says A++ on the deal.
I do like just a straight 1-for-1, though, and Struddy's behind here running Wirecast every morning.
Yeah, yes. Struddy's Struddy's not an analyst. He's not sitting here with us. He's running the computer over there
That
with
would
graphics
be hilarious.
and stuff.
I mean,
That would be that'd be pretty good.
VR Montenegro says we lose that trade all day
I
long.
love it.
I
love that support.
People are talking.
Look, we were asked the question. We had to throw it up there, though, right? We had to throw that up there. Question number 3. Guys, with the slow deadline so far, which team is the first you think to actually pull the trigger on a trade to get things going here?
Oh.
Yeah, who does get us off the schneid on deadline day?
Well, and is it going to be the heavy of the heavy? Really, is it to fully off the bat, and
Is
then we
it
just kind
Toffoli?
of trickle down the rest of the morning and afternoon?
If I was
here?
the Devils, I would wait on Toffoli to the last second, drive those
Kinda have to,
prices
eh?
through the roof.
I'm going to go over that.
As we've seen the deadline continue to move on, we can't really be surprised that Tanev was the first piece to go, right?
I'll say Zucker to Vancouver.
Wow. Our insider. I'm going to say the Los Angeles Kings. Let's go with the Kings. Kings haven't
Sitting silent.
They haven't done anything yet.
The guy in the back of the room.
They haven't done anything yet. What are the Los Angeles Kings doing here?
Well, what are they doing? You say the Kings, but what's the move? What's the Kings?
Oh, I don't care what the move is.
Kingmaker?
We weren't asked what the move is. We were just saying which team's
Just
going to get the
team.
deadline off the
Vancouver,
schneid.
Vancouver and Zucker.
Which team's going to get the deadline off the schneid? It's a good question. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We're going to get some trades, I would think, during the hangout. And then Oil Stream from 11 until about 2 today. deadline day coverage right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We're looking forward to seeing what happens the rest of the way. And if Ken Holland does pull a surprise trade out of his you-know-what today, Oil Stream extended deadline coverage is going to be nuts. I can't wait. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
I do love, though, with all the work that he's done so far, there's still that. We still have that, it's the door hasn't been necessarily slammed.
Yeah, but
we're getting numbers 80%. I get that, but there's that crack that's been left open for today, which I really, really enjoy.
Here's what's happening right now with the door. This is how I imagine it. Friend of EST, Bob Stauffer, is involved.
Right.
Ken Holland is trying to close the door, and Stauf's foot is just in there. You can't see anything else. It's just Stauf's foot, and Holland's trying to jam it closed, and Stauf's just like, oh, I can't let it go. I can't let it go. That's how I imagine.
Oh, that's delicious. Yeah.
That's how I see that going down right now. Yeah, and then Jackson is on the other side with Stauf going, don't take your foot out. Don't take your foot out. Right? Get Eberle. Upgrade the D.
Whole thing.
Yeah.
Man, that's how
that's a fun scenario. That's a fun scenario. I like that. Strummy says, you guys bury the lead today. The new season of Fortnite is out. I don't play Fortnite. Trev, you're the gamer. You're one of the top NHL players in the world. Are you a Fortnite guy?
Yeah, I like Fortnite. Actually, Cass and Tom, they asked me, man, I feel bad that whenever they play they play Fortnite. Well, not that often, but whenever they've asked me to game with them, I've always been busy, whether I'm out or just video editing or whatever. So yeah, they asked me to game the other night, and I think that's like the fourth time I've said, no, sorry boys, I'm busy. But apparently Cass is really good at Fortnite, so I know he's going to be all over this update, and Tommy probably will be too. So we're definitely going to trio up here pretty soon, hopefully, because I'd like to game with those guys.
That's doing the dancing.
Oh yeah. Like that's half of my enjoyment in playing Chell is kind of just doing those ridiculous celebrations whenever you score kind of a funny goal.
The gritty.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in Fortnite you can really troll with some people, and it's kind of satisfying.
Are you breaking news here?
No, I'm not breaking news, but Elliot Friedman.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Elliot Friedman, I just want to make sure. Washington and Carolina have been discussing an Evgeny Kuznetsov deal. Not sure how it will all work, but it's been moving along. Follows that up with, this looks like it's going to happen, but nothing finalized yet. Interesting. Once again, not a major impact unless you get to the Stanley Cup final, and I still don't know Carolina's got the goaltending to beat Florida anyway, but they've already brought in Gensel. Now they're going to bring in Evgeny Kuznetsov, give him a fresh start. We know he's a hell of a hockey player. Obviously, he's been working through some things in Washington. Anyway, they're saying that it looks like it's going to get done. It'd be great if that could break before the... here we go. Pending a trade call. This is LeBron. Evgeny Kuznetsov is being traded to the Carolina Hurricanes for a 2025 third-round pick. Washington is going to retain 50% on Kuznetsov. One more next season. He's got 1 year left. Kuznetsov will take $3.9 million as an AAV to the Hurricanes. His contract runs through the rest of next season. So the Capitals have decided to eat half of what they owe to Kuznetsov and have moved him to Carolina. We finally have something here on deadline day. Carolina, Gensel last night, and then Evgeny Kuznetsov this morning.
Ben Anderson in the nasty chat as well minutes ago. Insider says Chikrin to Dallas.
Yeah, but I haven't seen anything on that.
No, but Ben Anderson.
Ben. Okay,
I'm just
Ben
saying,
Anderson.
we're all talking.
Okay, this is interesting. Carolina. Look, I think the Panthers are a wagon. The Panthers are going to be a really tough out. So to add Kuznetsov and Gensel,
they're answering the bell.
Pretty solid work for Carolina.
Yeah.
Pretty solid work for Carolina. Trev, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a little bit more depth. Obviously, it's kind of Kuznetsov of old. Maybe he needs a fresh start was needed for sure. So I like it. Looking at his numbers this year, there's nothing that screams at you. It's
this is not prime Kuznetsov anymore.
But you get another option and you get some depth. That's two pretty significant pieces, I'd say, though. And for a third, that's huge, right? Like you're only getting $4 million. Like that's pretty solid for a third. I'd be pretty happy if I was a Hurricanes fan.
Well, and what he does is he comes with significant playoff experience for that Carolina group too, who have all had some playoff experience, but it hasn't been good playoff experience. Kuznetsov has had the ultimate playoff experience. So they add in Gensel, they add in Kuznetsov, they all stay out east, which is good news for your Edmonton Oilers. But there's our first trade of the day. If Evgeny Kuznetsov to Washington for a third-round pick, with Washington retaining 50% of Kuznetsov's contract. Your thoughts on it? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. I guess Washington and Carolina were the team that were going to get us off the schneid, as we had just discussed. It'll be interesting to see where that actually gets where that fits in for the Carolina Hurricanes, who obviously have no shortage of talented forwards. I still worry about Carolina's goaltending. I know they got Freddie Anderson back last night, but we'll see on that front. This one, as it says, it would be nice to see the Oilers somehow add a top 4 right-handed D today. Eberle's a good player and all, but I think he would just slot in as another top 9 winger. Sorry, fans, he's not a bona fide top 6 winger anymore. Now it's off to A&W to stock up my trade deadline studio here in Calgary with enough breakfast sandwiches to stuff Eric Macramella.
We've acquired the Godfather. We don't have a draft today. What are you doing?
I was going to say, Godfather's arrived for deadline day today. It doesn't surprise me. All right, so keep those text messages rolling in. Fish Tank says Kuzi is washed. Yeah, he's not what he once was, but he can still play in the National Hockey League. This is why they retained and only took a third for him. This is not a team moving a first for Evgeny Kuznetsov. It's a team who's like taking a bit of a flyer on a third, but only having to pay half the price.
And Jay in the Park chimes in, if anyone can play on the defensive side of the puck as well, it would be Carolina.
All right, let's get to I Says Pardon. Brought to you by Lawyer Central, www.lawyer-central.com/pardons. Clean slate at affordable rates. And they'll do a bunch of other work for you as well. It's not like they call and they're like, hey, I have an issue with this. Sorry, we only do pardons. They do everything. 1-888-288-8177. They've got lawyers all across the country. www.lawyer-central.com/pardons or call 1-888-288-8177. Set yourself free from that record hanging over your head with Lawyer Central. I Says Pardon today. I've been kind of saving this. We haven't necessarily got to it just yet. We did mention it when we were getting into the Orange and Blue Breakfast. But another 100-point season for Connor McDavid. An absolute machine for the Edmonton Oilers since the moment they got this guy. And this is that typical story of the guy who comes in, supposed to be the next one, labeled as a generational talent. And those guys don't always live up to the hype. And I know, he and the team have yet to deliver a Stanley Cup championship along the way. But Connor McDavid already at 100 points, following up 153-point season, following up 123-point season, following up 105-point season, following up 97 in 64, would have absolutely smashed through 100 that season, 116 prior to that, 108 prior to that, and in his second season, 100 points as well. He has been, if it's possible to say, he is better than what I think you thought they were getting when they drafted him.
Well, not according to Bruce Boudreau. D. Lambley in the Nasty Chat says Boudreau's on TSN right now saying McKinnon is better than McDavid. So
Filthy Bruce is a nasty
pardon?
man.
Yeah.
I also think McKinnon is a little bit underrated. I honestly
absolutely
do.
No.
I think McKinnon.
Two things can be right.
If you're starting a team today in the National Hockey League, your first overall pick is Connor McDavid. Your second overall pick, in my opinion, is undoubtedly Nathan McKinnon. To me, it's a clear-cut 1-2. You can slot everybody else in after that, but I think McDavid's the 1, McKinnon's the 2. But I do think McKinnon does fly, if it's possible, flies under the radar a little bit. I really do.
Play the
All
sounder,
right.
please.
Let's get this. Here we go. Give it to me.
Text into my personal phone. Joaquin Gage has been extended at Commonwealth Stadium for every home Elks football game concession and the Metallica concert. No retention. Hell of a deal. Hell of a deal.
Gager. Who announces a Gager extension on a day like today?
All the Elks games plus the Metallica concert. Cooking up the dogs.
I like that.
The hottest dog.
I like that. I says pardon is Connor McDavid. Tack on another 100-point season. He is getting to the level of the all-time greats when you talk about accumulating the numbers that this guy is accumulating. Most consecutive 100-point seasons, the great one. Connor would have already been number 2 on that list if it wasn't for the 1 year where he just played 64 games.
Yeah, it's insane. Like that's such. Oh, that's so unfortunate with obviously COVID happening. But yeah, like as far as stats goes, and just being like he's easily, man, he's the most skilled player to ever play the game. And you hear everyone talk about it. Like it's just crazy. You look at Crosby, and McDavid hasn't won anything yet, but Crosby 6. He's played almost 20 years now, and he's got six 100-point seasons under his belt. McDavid, not even half that, and he's already got 7. It's just added to the list of things he's going to continue.
Sidney Crosby is already in the conversation for possibly top 5, 6, 7 of all time. Maybe even higher, depending on who you talk to. And McDavid has already blown his
as far as stats goes, McDavid's it's insane what he's putting up.
I says pardon, Connor McDavid at 100 points yet again. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. We got a gift certificate to Sobeys Liquor that we are going to give away. Obviously, you're monitoring everything that's happening here on Trade Deadline Day, but if you want to win a $50...
Today would be a great day to get that $50 to Sobeys. For Trade Deadline afternoon on Friday, come on.
Go pick up some 6 o'clocker lager.
Celebrate,
Why not?
Drown your sorrows.
Speaking of picking things up, Eric and I are wearing the same hats today.
Hey, yeah.
Right? These hats right here.
You got the curve.
Go to Edmonton. I got the curve. You got the straight. You can get them. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. I think the curd ones we might be running a little bit low on, but they're all from our great partners at High Product Marketing. The official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out. TheHiveProductMarketing.com. We know some of our listeners and clients have used them for work. They do a great job over there. Once again, TheHiveProductMarketing.com. All right, let's get these set up ready for Beer of the Week. Here we go.
Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week on The Nielsen Show, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
All right, 8:48, Friday, you know what I mean? Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. We've got the Hangout coming up. We are going to have a Glue Guy with Matt and Tommy. YouTube Trev's going to hop in on the Hangout today as well. And then we'll be back. Oil Stream Deadline coverage from 11 until about 2-ish today right here on Edmonton Sports Talk as well. One trade so far this morning in the National Hockey League. And that is Kuznetsov with 50% retained, moving to Carolina in exchange for a third-round pick in 2025. That's the only deal so far. The Edmonton Oilers picking up Stetcher yesterday after adding Henrique and Carrick the day before. They are likely done, but we are having a little bit of a Jordan Eberle discussion today as well. If you're watching on YouTube, of course, you can listen anytime on iHeartRadio or on TuneIn or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, also available every single time. The segment that you're about to hear, available just as a podcast. So if you're just a beer fan and you hate the rest of the show, just search Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week podcast. You can find it there. Videos pop up on our YouTube channel as well. Scott Laurie joins us once again. Scotty, how you doing this morning?
Fantastic.
You going bowling later today?
I am. I'm ready for it.
You look great.
Yeah, come on. It's a nice. I like this shirt.
It's a nice
one of my
shirt. It's a
favorite
nice
shirts.
shirt.
I feel like I'm going to Beer Fest. I feel like this is a very Beer Festy kind of shirt.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, it's kind of that's. You know, I'm ready for
It's
it.
loose and casual, but with a professional tone to it.
Exactly. Later, I might undo a button.
T-shirt underneath.
Yeah, the t-shirt underneath.
Is that sleeveless shirt underneath or
Yes.
tee?
No, sleeveless.
No, I see it's here. Oh, is this?
It's actually a Beer Fest shirt.
Oh, it is.
You know.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's business time, so I got to do. These snaps don't. That means business.
If anybody looks like a businessman right now,
it's me.
It's you.
It's
for sure.
me. Exactly.
All right, what do we got here today? What's going on? Beer Fest? What's happening here?
Yeah, it's Beer Fest this weekend, today and tomorrow. So we're doing Beer Fest in a box. We've done a few of these before. They kind of rotate these through, kind of highlighting great Alberta beers. Usually, we've got a couple in this one that are from BC and Saskatchewan. But it is International Women's Day, so this is the International Women's Day Beer Fest in a box.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, so we're kind of celebrating. I heard Jasmine text in earlier. Celebrating the women in beer, and there are some of these beers. One of them is the Bridge Beer. Bridge Brewing was the first brewery ran by women, started by women. Everything. So all of these beers have strong women in presence, either owning or brewing, or so it's kind of a celebration of that.
Quick note on the deadline. It looks like there's just a sec. Let me get the breaking news here quickly. This kind of impacts the Oil a little bit, I guess. Jordan Eberle looks like he's staying in Seattle.
Yeah,
wanted to stay in Seattle. Looks like they got an extension.
Trevor
done.
and Airdrie in the Paris Jewelers inbox had it. He actually did. I kid you not.
Merrick announcing that Eberle is close to signing a 2-year extension with the Kraken, and Elliot Friedman saying that it looks like it is a done deal. So there you go. Jordan Eberle off the board for the Edmonton Oilers, and that'll pretty much do it, I think, for Oilers deadline day. It would have been kind of neat to see Eberle back, right?
Who's on Eberle Jet then? That's a good
point.
I mean, who's on it?
Must be Adam Larson.
Must be. He's coming back.
It's definitely not Adam Larson.
It's definitely not Adam.
It's probably some baseball player coming here to do a promotion or something. That's disappointing.
Eberle would have been great.
Eberle, yeah,
It's
like I said earlier.
It's like a home story.
Why not with Eberle?
Yeah.
Like, why not? He doesn't hurt you. I don't know how much he'd help, but
good
Gabriel
guy.
Season, it says, so what do the Oilers do now? Well, probably what they were planning on doing in the beginning of the day, which is nothing because they've already done everything that they're going to do. And I know many of you are like, I don't know how you can be overly frustrated with they've brought in 3 bodies. They added Corey Perry for nothing prior to the deadline anyway. So they've added 4 pieces to the roster that won 16 games in a row.
But if you were punch drunk on certain names prior to it, that's the way.
I get
which
it.
people have.
I
mean,
understand.
that's not a Ken Holland problem. That's a you problem.
I think when you look at all 4 names and not lose anybody off your roster, I know Gagne had to come down and Hall had to go down, but like you didn't lose any.
There's
core
still
guys.
options if you want.
Yeah, I think it's an A. I think you were talking about it.
Whoa.
It's an A. It's an A. You look at all 4 names and you look at what they needed, and I think it's an A. I think they've done remarkably
Trev's over in the
well.
corner there giving you a thumbs
me and
up.
Trev.
It's like, let's go.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, are they better now than they were 3 days ago? Yes. So in theory, yes, I give it an A as well. So let's go.
Cheers to
Great
you.
minds think alike.
All right.
Okay, so we got 8 different beers here. It is $27.99. All of these beers have great stories to deal with women. We're going to start with one from Edmonton, SYC. This is a pineapple FOMO, dry hopped sour.
Wow, there's a lot there. Then,
yeah, you're getting a lot with this SYC one. Tart kettle sour, lots of pineapple, delicious beer. All of these beers are really good. There's some really cool stories about them, and they're very, very different styles.
All right, cheers to cheers to Carrick dropping the mitts in his Oilers debut.
The big
Oilers debut. There we go.
That's a whoa.
So that's a sour.
That's a sour.
It didn't get me,
but it's not sour.
Yeah.
But
There's a little sourness at the
Well,
end.
I feel like it's so much pineapple.
Yeah,
that you're not getting like that sour tart sugary sour. It's
complemented.
Pineapple. It's just a delicious pineapple beer.
Because it made me make a face.
It is good.
And a good face. But
I don't
not a sour
like pineapple, but I like that beer.
How do you not like pineapple?
Mostly because it grosses me out on pizza. So
what about like on ham? Like if you have like a ham steak,
ring, a pineapple ring.
Oh
like
yeah, sometimes
ring?
the pineapple ring on the I push it aside, and then I just eat the ham.
It's odd.
Yeah. What's next?
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's try. How about
I
beets?
could go all day.
How about beets? Do you like beets?
Nope.
Well, we're trying that.
Guess I'll have this one too.
We're going Schrute Farms, the Beet Farmhouse Ale. from Bridge Brewing. This is out of BC. This is Vancouver. So we have had beets in a beer
Oh,
before.
good color. I was expecting it to be a dark.
I thought it was going to be dark red.
Yeah.
It's very misleading.
So we've had beets out of Town Square. We've had their beet beer before, but this is a different one. This is the Beet Farmhouse Ale. So there is a ton of fresh beets added to this. So you're going to get what you're going to get out of this one is a bit of an earthy kind of feel to it.
Okay.
But it's the Schrute Farms. I mean, if you don't like pineapple, let's get you onto beets.
We'll have to see.
Straight out of the ground.
Cheers for Adam Henrique. Welcome aboard.
Yes,
Welcome
cheers.
aboard.
Rico.
Adam Henrique, part of the cup run, you know? Well, I think I like pineapple better than beets.
That's different, man. It's
definitely got an earthy feel
If
to
somebody
it.
likes beets,
I like
would
beets.
they love this
I love
beer?
beets.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
I love
this
beets.
beer.
I like that beer for sure. Again, how do you not like?
What is a beet anyway?
I'll take the pineapple.
Take pineapple.
Kind of like a cross between a tomato and potato or something?
It's like a
No, it's like a rutabaga. It's like a purple. It grows in the ground. Turn up. It's like when you peel it, it's delicious red.
gotta peel a beet.
Yeah, it's got a skin on it. So you boil it, get it hot, and then you kind of get that kind of outer layer off.
Like
Slice
a
it
potato
up.
skin?
No,
It's a beetroot.
it's a beet. Yeah, you need to beet greens too.
So you kind of got to clean them up a bit.
Clean them up, but even the greens that come out called beet greens, put a little butter and salt on them. Beet greens, fantastic.
table
I'll bring.
beets,
I'll bring.
garden
We grow them
beets,
at the.
red
We
beet.
grow them at the lake. I'll bring you some.
All right.
Okay, so let's go. Let's go. How about peaches? Do you like peaches?
I don't have a lot of peaches. I tried peaches one time.
Anyone who has low blood pressure or currently taking blood pressure medication should speak with a healthcare professional before adding beets or beetroot juice to their diets.
I am taking blood pressure medication.
Interesting.
Did not know that.
See, thinking about you here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Origin. So we're gonna go peach mango, another sour.
You know, I do got a lot of time for mango.
Okay, this is.
I never eat it on its own.
No, but
I like drinking mango.
A fuzzy peach candy.
Yeah.
Fuzzy peach. So this is a peach mango ale. These guys are out of Strathmore. We did Origin last week actually. So we're drinking them again. They were great beers last one. So this is going to be that blend of sweetness. Just it's a peach mango. Who doesn't love peach mango?
I think I'm going to really like this one.
You're going to like this one.
Cheers to Troy Stetcher.
Stetcher.
As somebody said earlier, they said, how can the deadline be a success? Cody Cece's still on the roster. Yeah, but is he going to be in the lineup once they get a look at Stetcher? How's that for a take today?
How about loser not knowing his name? Not Doug.
Dennis.
Dennis.
Do you think he is Ivan from the Avalanche? I want that card. Hey? This is nice.
That's a really nice beer.
Yeah.
I think we can all
Peach
come
mango
together
ale.
on this one.
We can all come together on that one.
We have so many different things.
I know. So now we've still got. There's 4 more left here. A wide variety. I like the name of this one from Exhale. So this is out of Calgary.
Let's do one more.
One more. Okay. So this is. You can buy this beer unless you're Anish Kapoor. I didn't know what that meant.
I don't.
So I guess there's this guy called Anish Kapoor that created a color, this black color, but then he patented it and no one else was allowed to use it. So somebody else made a color that's very similar and patented it as well and said everybody could use it except Anish Kapoor.
Vanta Black.
Yeah. So they named this. It's a weird story. I had to look it up. So this guy, I guess, is a real jerk. So they said everybody should. It's a very inclusive company. Everybody should be able to drink this beer and be part of it.
How do you trademark the color black?
Yeah, he bought exclusive rights to Vanta Black pigment.
Yeah.
He owns the darkest color.
He owns the darkest
sounds like
color.
a loser.
Exactly. So this is a blackberry dark saison.
All right, let's do it.
So look at this thing pours just phenomenal. Great color.
I mean, the pour itself is not great.
Well, you know what?
But thanks.
I know. You're welcome. Yours is
I like
worse.
a lot of head.
Mine's
You know me.
mine's really good. I get this is a beer that you really want to pour all the way out and let it breathe. I'm like, yeah, yours
Well,
is.
no,
yours,
it's just breathing.
it's breathing. It's going to
baby.
settle down nicely. Again, dark saison. This is good. It's a really really great beer.
All right, let's go. Cheers to whoever the mystery man is. They pick up prior to the deadline today.
Ooh,
Yeah.
cheers.
Okay, give me what's that supposed to be again?
That is a dark saison, black currant.
Yeah.
So you're getting kind of that spiciness, spiciness of the saison.
It's like a light stout.
Yeah, I think if you drank more of it, you'd find that it was a little bit more, lighter and spicy.
Getting, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's the black currant kind of darkness that you're feeling from it, tasting from it. But yeah, it's a strong beer. I mean, it's a strong percentage beer, but really, really complex flavors. So in this pack, $27.99, there's also Blackbridge Brewing. We've got Bourne Brewing, Leduc Brewing, and Fuggles. So there's a plum sour. There's a hazy pale ale from Leduc, which is really, really good. We didn't get to. Nectron Pineapple, which is a single hop. And then we've also got another strong beer, which is a rye IPA. So you're kind of hitting all different flavors.
all in that pack.
All in this pack. It is Beer Fest this weekend. So tonight.
What are the details? Where's that?
Down at Expo Center.
Expo Center.
You still get tickets. Check our flyer. There's a QR code you can scan on there. It is International Women's Day, so these boxes all have great ties to strong women in beer.
Nice.
And
You want to leave those bad boys for the boys here?
Absolutely.
All right, perfect.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Oh, and I did bring you a signed. We had Pronger in the store here.
Okay.
So the fellas from Kraft that kind of organized him out in the show, Sean and Chris signed a bottle for you guys.
Awesome.
Kind of cool. We do have a few left over, kind of kicking around. So if you weren't able to get there, reach out to me on whatever X or
Sweet,
Twitter,
perfect.
and I can try and
Put
track
it
one
in our
down for
booze
you.
collection, which continues to grow here.
Yeah, it was great.
I love it. That's great. Excellent. Good
Lots
stuff.
going on.
All right. By the way, text right now. Text 780-218-9999. Beer me. Just text Beer Me right now. We got $50 gift card to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Make sure you sub to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor podcast as well. Text in Beer Me 780-218-9999. Let's get into the grand finale. We got the hangout coming up here. But quickly, guys, what'd you learn on the show today?
I learned that Eric may be Darren Dreger. We've never seen them in the same room together.
We have never seen them in the same room.
The
today.
I'm no
insider,
stranger to Langenberg, Saskatchewan.
the insider knows. You know.
I learned that you're wearing a sleeveless shirt underneath your dress shirt this morning for Beer Fest. Which
Exactly.
is going to be great today.
And I learned that Dallas Eakins should probably be a regular with us.
100%.
I think everybody learned that this morning.
Eakins was great, man.
People have
He really was.
People have taken back their madness about the Taylor Hall.
Oh, it was
water bucket
hilarious.
Yankees.
People in a matter of 15 minutes today, people completely changed their opinion of Dallas Eakins.
He righted all
when
the
he was on the
wrongs.
show with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
today.
We had Pronger in store, and people were like giddy to see him. It's like, do you remember? And they're like, oh my god, it's people forget.
Trashing him in the forums.
Or
giddy
people
to
were
meet
like
him in
just
person.
too crazy in the first place.
That's 100% right.
We all
That's
grow up.
100% right.
When Eakins came on today, what he said, he goes, just before I get started here, I'm here for the eyes references.
Awesome.
And the donuts. And did he say Taylor Hall?
He
With
threw
the
out a
water
couple.
bottle?
He
And the
threw out
water
a couple.
bottle?
My wife. Which I don't know
dropped
if
a
it's
couple wives
intentional or
in
not,
there,
but
too.
I mean the guy's a
He's a
legendary.
He's an AM now. He's a Nasty Club member. You
Yeah,
just
he
don't
goes
know.
straight to the texted and goes, "Hey guys, put me on the map, Mannheim, Germany."
Get him on. Zach,
Who is this?
Yeah, he's got to get him on there.
All right, let's get
Awesome.
to your sound of the day today. Right, the sounder. That's it. We got the Kuznetsov deal. Eberle sticking around in Seattle as well. Hopefully more deals coming up. We got the hangout on the way. Text of the day today. Lots of good text messages actually right after the Dallas Eakins chat today. Text of the day, of course, for A&W. This is a good one. I'm calling in sick for work today. I'm just going to walk around, chop wood, and carry water. That's from T-Mac, the rugby guy. You got it, Rick?
Yeah.
T-Mac, the rugby guy.
Eat a vegetable today.
Yeah, eat a veggie today for Dallas Eakins being on the show.
Drink a beet beer.
He would love that. He would love a beet beer.
Yeah.
He would love a
Take that
beet beer. Nielsen Show all day today, coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios. If you're looking for something for lunch on deadline day, may we suggest hitting up Popeyes for the classic chicken sandwich or the spicy chicken sandwich or the blackened chicken sandwich.
Get a platter.
Get those bad boys at Popeyes here on deadline day. I know the guys over at Popeyes will be keeping close tabs on the deadline today, and we'll be back with more Popeyes stuff on the oil stream a little bit later on today as well. What are you watching tonight? What's on the go tonight? I'm doing a break tonight. I'm doing a card break tonight. Going after the Bedard Young Gun.
And you've got him zero.
Well, here's the thing. We did half a case. Didn't get one.
Oh, so
we
you're
got the second
guaranteed.
half of the case, so we're getting one. I mean,
Guaranteed.
It's in there, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So we're doing that tonight. That break overfilled. I posted it at 7. I finally I forgot about it. I checked it out at 8. There was like 40 people who wanted in. I was like, sorry, we got 31 spots. So I'll be doing that tonight.
Start another
It'll
one.
be a lot of fun. I could do another one. It's just a matter of getting the cards.
I know.
It's that tough
Hard to
right
get.
now. Yeah, they
Hard
are
to
tough
get.
to get. Have you
Hard to
done
get.
any of that?
I did not. I resisted. I had a box on hold for me.
Yeah.
And I thought I'm gonna wait.
Oh man, look at this guy.
You get carried away in that stuff.
Fergie's Prostate says rugby shown at St. Albert Rugby Club this weekend as well. If you have any plans and you want to head out and watch some rugby, St. Albert Rugby Club is the place to go. Great little boozer. Enjoy some rugby. Sit back.
Deadline day just getting going. Hangouts coming up. We're going to have Matt, Tommy, YouTube Trev, Glue Guy. They're going to be on from 9 to 11 o'clock today. Myself, Gager, and Gazzola right back here in the main studio from 11 until about 2-ish today. We'll have more deadline coverage. Not expecting anything of significance or at all from the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, man. I do hope it gets out there that there's a minor league deal that comes through. And people are going to be like, oh, my God.
We will see.
What is this? The old last-minute minor league deal. Like, what we want is right before the deadline. It's like Oilers making a trade call right now. One deal coming. Everybody loses their mind, and then it's like they've traded Ben Gleason to the Dallas Stars.
And Stoff removes his foot from the door.
Yeah, and Ken Holland can close it. And Ken Holland can close it. All right, Hangout's coming up. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure autoplay is on, and that'll take you right on over, slide you right on in to the Hangout, which will be coming up right away. If you're listening on iHeartRadio or on TuneIn or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, small dose of Whale and the Wolf, then we'll get rolling with the Hangout as well. And starting on Monday, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, giving away a trip to Vegas. Qualifying begins on Monday. Trip for 2, nonstop flights with Fly YEG, 3 nights accommodations, tickets to a Cirque show, and then you can do whatever the heck else you want down there as well. That's going to do it for us for YouTube. Trev, Redbeard from Sobeys Liquor, Lieutenant Eric, the Insider. I'm Dustin Nielsen. I'll be back in like 2 hours. So I'll talk to you then. Have a great day. Take it easy.